Hi there, this is Tyler, and I'm here today with a group from the Gauntlet, which if you watch most of my stuff, I play with the Gauntlet a ton because they're awesome, and you should go and find us. We're at gauntlet-rpg.com. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. We're all over the place. We have podcasts. We have a fanzine. We do gaming. We do like 200 games a month, which is phenomenal. Some of the best people you're ever going to play with. I urge you to go and find us. And we're here today to play the fifth and final, the penultimate game of WWW Worldwide Wrestling. This is by Nathan Paletta, lovely guy, and we're using the expansion of The Road, which is by Adam Ultraberg, and we are doing the Battle for the Belt. Now, we're playing in Gauntlet League in Gauntlet City, which is a little redundant, but apropos. We have gone through a whole slew of drama and many, many awesome wrestling matches over the last 4 sessions, all to come to this, the big pay-per-view, Gauntlet Palooza, where we have the belt going up on the line. We have an unbelievable David versus Goliath versus Crazy Monster triple threat match. We have a lot of backstage issues which may come to the fore here in this. And it is going to be super exciting. And I have 4 of my favorite folks in the whole wide world who are going to be playing, all of whom have played in this series before. All of whom have established wrestlers, so we won't be doing any setup, which is kind of nice too. We've had some great people come in and out, but this is the final 4 here. Now, I want to mention that we have some safety tools. And since everybody's played before, I'm not going to go into depth with them. But here in the Gauntlet, we have the inclusivity policy, which is really here to just make sure that we're taking care of each other. We're generous, we're kind, we're supportive. And we also have the X card, which is a safety tool. If something gets personal or is just destroying your fun, you let me know. I'll rewind and we'll move forward. It's here so that we can make sure that we always have the most fun in a game and that we're here as friends. My players, we've already gone over this, so everyone here is aware of what we have with that. So I think we're going to jump right into introducing the players and their amazing characters. So I'm going to start over here on my right. Zach, why don't you introduce yourself and your wrestler?
Hi, everyone. My name is Zach. I use he and pronouns. I am playing Bloody Bob Cross, who is a hardcore gimmick deathmatch wrestler. This season, you see Bloody Bob kind of going through, I don't know, back and forth and backstage with the professor. He is really idealistic in the sense that he's really dedicated to the craft. And because of that, because he's like really super into the craft, I think he's like his judgment has been like really clouded with having this B star character coming into what he thinks is taking over his I don't know, he has this like this sense of ownership of professional wrestling and like see everything else as kind of a lesser. And so yeah, I'm really excited to see where this feud backstage and in the ring is going to go this session. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Ryan, introduce yourself and your character, please.
I'm Ryan, he, him, and I'm playing the Reckoning, Raphael Rousseau, she, her, is the iconoclast and has spent this entire section so far, well, entire run so far, trying to angle herself in to be in the main event, the pay-per-view, and it's working. Downside, Harbinger actually legit wants to hurt her, but it's going to make for a really great match, so nothing could go wrong. This is going to be awesome. Also, I think I invited my family to this one because Harbinger said that he would intimidate my little brother, who would love it. So I hope they don't actually kill me in the ring, because that would be awkward.
That would be sad. All right. Leandro, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Hi, my name's Leandro. I use he, him pronouns since this is our last session. Again, shout outs to my local wrestling promotion, Over the Top Wrestling. Hope you get a new venue soon, unless Dublin gentrifies itself to oblivion, in which case, sorry, thanks for all the memories. I'm playing the Crush Queen, Zoe Mueller. She's doing the Shoot Fighter playbook, and she's kind of been in and out for this series. Shoot Fighter means basically she has skills in really hurting people because she's a former MMA fighter jumping into professional wrestling. So in the first session, well, like I said, she's been in and out, maybe because in the first session, she had a reputation for roughing up people. She might have sent a certain actor / fake time traveling professor out of wrestling into acting. And then rumors were spread that she was rough, and so she decided to try and prove people wrong having a match with him. Sabotage happened, which meant she had to go for a few weeks, and she came back and seems to be just acting a professional for now, just not getting into the politics and seeing where she ends up. She let Rafael go over her and even tried to finagle finish that both of them would look strong, which hopefully worked out, and then got into kind of the main event angle just because it seems the right choice. I don't know. Maybe it's working out for her. Maybe she doesn't have to play politics. Maybe we don't have to play politics. Who knows? That's up to our next player.
All right, then. Sounds like an intro for you. Garwin, introduce yourself and your character.
Oh, hello. I play Professor Chaos. Oh, he's he normally sounds a lot better than this, and I'm struggling a little bit today with my voice, so I may not do the full voice the entire time, and I'm sorry for that. But he's a long-time lower card wrestler with Gauntlet League. He spent a lot of time in development. He was with the company for 12 years before being injured in a quite stiff match with a certain Crush Queen. And he left wrestling to go off and pursue pastures greener in television, where his natural flamboyance came to the fore. That made him something a bit of a B-list star. He's got his own TV series, and he's linked that in with a comeback to wrestling. So every week he'll have his TV show that's performed each week on a very tight schedule, and then he'll come wrestle at the weekend and sometimes try and link in the plot line and bring in characters from that show. Up until now, he's been very much the hero of the story, at least front of stage. Backstage, not so much. Last week, we saw his mask slip a little bit. Well, we saw his mask slip a lot when he was confronted with two people who really didn't like him. And he got very, very rough and very, very nasty, shall we say. So some of the shine may have actually come off that whole TV show. How can you have a children's TV entertainer be quite that brutal? We'll have to see.
Indeed, we will. So, we're going to be having the big pay-per-view. That's wanting to make sure we get in our two big matches tonight. But I want to do some of our backstage stuff as well. So, first thing I want to have us deal with is, first, we have some injuries around. This has been a rough kind of promotion so far. So, Zach, how many injuries do you currently have?
Currently 2.
2. One off you, 3's your max?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna give you an opportunity. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know so that you could be thinking about it. An opportunity to use the going home move, which is when you go back and deal with your family. I figured we'd have a little family something here regardless. It also allows you the chance to heal an injury. So if you want to take a look at that real quick. So be thinking you will probably we'll do you a home scene. Ryan, how are you looking for injuries?
None, which I assume will change if Harbinger gets his way. But for the moment, I'm fine.
Excellent. Leandro, how are you for injuries?
I'm doing fine. Apparently, I've been causing injuries rather than receiving them. I did kick someone in the plums a bit too stiffly. I was trying to
All right.
apologize.
Poor hair Euro. All right. So you're straight up. How about you, Garrett? How are you on injuries?
The professor is currently clear of injuries. Igorovich, his assistant, his gatekeeper, less so. He has one injury.
Okay. And our over moves, I have at least one person who's at 4. Who is that?
That would be me.
All righty. Why don't we go ahead and have you roll the over move to start us off with?
I don't think I get the overmove this time because I think the Federation resets.
Oh, have we gotten all the way up?
Yes, everyone else is at 3 and I'm at 4.
Ooh, you're right. So, wow, right here going into the pay-per-view, the Federation has moved up a level and everyone drops audience back to starting. I think, Gary, yeah.
Sorry, no, ignore me. I dropped it. I dropped to 3 rather than 2 because of the. I'm trying to remember the actual name of it. The promo I did that was.
You did your You had a mythic
moment. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, but yeah, Federation still reset.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just fixing to say I think somebody has a permanent audience up. So, so you're at 3. Everyone's at your start. So no overmove. All right. So I'm going to start off with you, Professor, receiving a phone call from one of your producers from the TV show.
He's in his trailer. He sits down. Oh, hello, Bob. How can I help?
Harry, I've been getting phone calls here at the station. Something about that wrestling stuff. Did you hurt somebody in the ring?
Oh no! Well, it's made to look like that, yes, but it's all a work.
The kids are crying. They're saying the professor's become a villain.
Oh no! It's the corruption of the title. It's the power going to his head. Don't worry. Igorovich is here to help bring me back to my senses.
Well, I gotta tell you, we have none of that in the scripts coming up, and if you don't get around to fixing that before we shoot, well, I gotta tell you, rewrites are expensive.
Don't worry, I'm sure we will address it tonight.
We've enjoyed the run you've been having. Lots of good stuff, I tell you, but it's the sort of thing here that we're just not very pleased with when we get curveballs like this, Harry.
Oh, let's cut to brass tacks. What are you actually saying here?
I'm saying, fix this, Harry. I don't want kids calling and crying no more. And I've had sponsors who have been saying they're going to drop the show if you're turning into a villain in this wrestling thing.
I think I can solve this easily tonight. You do realize tonight's my last show, don't you? My last wrestling show.
You're giving it up for good, you say?
Well, the way I see it, it's a rather rough game, and I don't want to push up your insurance rates.
Wow. I gotta say, I have to. I approve. I've never understood this wrestling thing myself. I know it's for the kids and all, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Yes, it is a rather hard sell to some of the backers and some of the funders. Wrestling has a very mixed history, and I think it's time to cut it clean.
Wow, that sounds good, and as long as you come out the hero, I suppose that's fine with me. But you better come out the hero. I'm telling you, your show's expensive, and if we lose toys, then we are definitely not going to be able to keep going the way we've been going.
Bob, don't worry. Leave it with me. It will all be sorted. Have I ever done you wrong before?
No, I guess not. Well, I'll be hearing from you tomorrow.
I'll talk to you tomorrow after the show.
And he signs off.
And I close my phone. No. I have to come out of this ahead. Oh, shoot. Charles, darling, can you get Jeremy on the line, please?
Jeffrey?
Oh, sorry, Jeffrey, yes.
All right, you calling Bleakwood?
Yes. I'm sorry with all the mutes. Like I say, my voice is a little bit.
I completely understand. Let's just do real quick then. Let's go ahead and do that Bleakwood call. You'll get to the phone and what's up, bro?
Jeffrey, I was just wanting to have a quick word if I could.
Of course, yeah. What's going on?
I'm just trying to get a rough idea of what we've got planned tonight.
Well, I mean, pretty much what we've been planning all along. You go in there, you've got the belt already. I think we're going to end up going with a three-way this time. Crush Queen just managed to slide herself in there nice enough. Folks are kind of clamoring for it.
Oh, really?
Well, they kind of like this idea, especially since you turned heel. Gotta admit, Prof was not seeing it coming. I love it. I love mad professors. So I figure that we'll have you play dirty as hell. Maybe get a face turn out of one of the other two.
You sure about that? I'm not so sure Crush Queen's up to the task.
Really?
Yes, really. You've seen some of her matches. They're not exactly the most clean. I really don't think she can pull off a face.
Oh.
In fact, why I think she'll be better in a different match.
Why don't we have you roll? Get what you want here. Sounds like you're.
I was actually hoping to roll my backstage politics move.
Oh, absolutely.
Let me just see where it is.
I had a character.
Yes, I got a 3.
Oh, is there a fail result on it, or is it just
I believe there is. On a botch, creative picks 2 of the options. So the options are: you set up a segment later in the show, but you set up a segment later in the show, but pick one. Your client does not want to have it. Okay, so place yourself or your client in an embarrassing situation. It demonstrates how much better someone else is than you. So when we say the client, I'm guessing this is about the prof.
Yeah. All right. So either one you don't want to have, or one that puts you in a position that makes you look bad.
That's right. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. He says, Prof, I know you've got a little beef. You took an injury. We all take injuries, Prof. It's the business. Crush is going to be fine. And we're going to build this up. Don't worry. I've got something planned. You're so good on the mic. You're such a great improv guy. Just be ready for something.
It had better not be a death match.
Oh, no. Not a death match. Don't worry. Prof, I'm going to make you look great. Trust me.
Well, you've never let me down before.
See you tonight. Love the new nasty gimmick.
Click.
All right. I'm going to hop back over to you, Zach. Think we've got us back at home. If we remember correctly, the professor had managed to get Tony there thinking you had kind of gone a little off the deep end, that you roughed up some folks, and you'd said y'all were going to talk when you got home. Now we're doing the time at home. Let's see, pull that up. And I still think you're in a good position with your family. I don't think that this has turned it into. Let's see. I don't think you're in an unhappy situation. I think they're still supportive. So we'll get to roll off of that.
Okay.
Or get to go off of it. But let's, as you get home, probably this is, we're going to say the night before the pay-per-view.
Okay.
And when you get home, you see Tony sitting in the living room, and he's been talking with Susan. And as you come in the door, Susan looks at him and says, "Talk to him," as she gets up and leaves the room.
Remind me what's Bob's injury again? Well, I don't remember what.
I think I did your hand like you did mine.
Okay.
Well, sorry, like Sabine's character did mine, stamped on it.
Okay.
Yeah, was it your hand or your leg? I thought it was his leg.
Okay, leg then. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
because I think Sabine did the same thing. It was on your ankle, and I think it was your ankle as well, Zach. So you're limping probably.
Limping, probably crutches, and I kind of like acknowledge them when I walk in and just try to go straight to my room and say,
He's like, "What, Rob, are you hurt?"
well, yeah, I'm it's wrestling. I get hurt all the time, but it's no big deal, and I'll get through it. No, don't worry.
Come here, sit down, Rob. There's no need to go running back there to your room right off.
I have a big show tomorrow night, so
Just kind of what I want to talk to you about. Come here, sit down.
Is everything okay? Am I in trouble again, or?
I don't. You're a grown man. It's not like the old days when I was just, having to worry about what you did as a kid. It's. Come here. And do you go over and sit down?
I eventually do. It's like, okay, I'll it's better be quick. I don't have all night.
And he'll kind of, and I'm right. He's your older brother, right?
He's my younger brother actually. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Do you think that you were were you a troublemaker as a kid, or did you look out for him, or how was y'all's relationship?
I feel like I've been more of a troublemaker, but he's definitely way more mature than I am in that sense. Because I think our parents just kind of like lost hope on me and just put a lot of attention to Tony.
Gotcha. He's gonna move on, and just in this almost familiar sort of way, he's just gonna like reach down and grab your bad leg and put it up on the coffee table as he's going, "What did you do?"
Be careful, Tony. Don't not too rough on the leg, please.
He undoes your shoe as he's talking, and I mean, I imagine your ankle is swollen and bruised.
Yeah, it's bruised, and it's I hate to bring this up again, but it's a professor. I told you about him and told you to stay off of him, but like I could only do so much because he has all the power in order to injure me at all times, I guess, and this is what happens.
You get your sock off. Fuck that. So he did this.
He did it straight in the ring. Didn't you see the show the other day?
You told me it's all fake.
It's all fake until it's not anymore. It's all fake until someone really doesn't like you, and they're really trying to hurt you, and this is what happens.
He starts, and he's like feeling on your ankle, and I mean it hurt, but he's like, I don't think you've broken anything. You remember when you used to get in fights at school? You'd come back and I'd have to bandage up your fists, or you busted your knuckles.
Tony, that was a different day back then. I was fighting for real. I was fighting a lot for my pride, which I thought was, was important to me, but that's all kid stuff, teen boy stuff. I don't deal with that anymore. I guess at least that's what I thought. But all the stuff that I do in the ring, it's fake. But I really don't like it when it gets to that point in my life again. Tony, I tell you.
He pulls out an ace bandage from one of the drawers in the table, and he's kind of pulling your ankle. So back then it was you fighting for pride and kid stuff, and what's this then?
Well, it's fighting. Not with not bare knuckles or with down the street. It's a different kind of fighting. It's the same fighting for pride, but in a different way, in a way that's
You're still coming home, and I'm still having to wrap your injuries, aren't I? Isn't that different?
I guess things don't really change. It's just now I get paid doing it.
What happens when they do break your leg?
Well, honestly, Tony, I don't really know. It'll get better, Broken legs don't stay broken that long, for the rest of the time. I still get to wrestle. Maybe I don't get to wrestle.
Susan's been on the internet. She says that wrestlers don't live very long. And there's stories all over the internet of these guys that they're dying and they're like their 40s. We don't want that to happen to you.
Tony, I really don't want that to happen to me either, but this is what I really love doing. Just going out there and do some really cool moves and create really great stories and entertain the fans. This is what I do. This is who I am. And for once in my life, I get to feel really happy. I don't feel lost with fighting for fake pride or anything. This is what I really enjoy, Tony. This is my craft.
Well, and you're good at it. And there's no doubt you're good at it. What I'm worried about is you've got this beef with some old man who's now stomping on your ankle. Robbie, if this is going out there and making good story and entertaining people, that's one thing. But is that what you're doing? Is having these fights with your coworkers where you're not in the ring? This isn't telling a story. When I talked to that guy, sure, he was kind of an arrogant ass, but I deal with arrogant asses all the time. John in IT is a total dick.
He is a total dick, yeah.
But he doesn't stomp me in the leg. Are you sure you're keeping what's fake and entertaining about this separate from this? He says as he finishes cinching up your ankle. Are you remembering the difference?
It does get tough, Tony. Sometimes I have to confess something to you. I truly think that I've gone on the deep end with my hate towards the professor.
And he looks at you, and I mean, you can see the concern, and he kind of moves in and he hugs you. You've never been full of hate.
I know, Tony. I'm really sorry, and I mean, ultimately, it's, you know, I've disappointed you, but you made me realize how truly I've disappointed myself. You know, it's just this. It truly has gotten really tough on me. This guy that just came in and just trying to switch things up, and I got too caught up, and I had to let a lot of things go. I had to let a lot of like parts of myself go, and I let myself do stuff that I wouldn't normally do. I let myself be that 20-year-old again, coming home beaten up, bloody eyes, bruises everywhere.
You can fix this. I talked to Susan. You got a home here as long as you want it. There's never going to be a day that I close my door to you. I just don't want you to get hurt.
I understand, Tony.
I love you.
I love you too.
I think we'll close scene on that. And that sounds to me like you answered. When did the line between wrestling and reality seem to get blurred? And I think you could heal a. Let's see. Yes, I think you can heal an injury.
Cool. All right.
I think that was a good scene. All right. Ryan, I'm going to pop over to you. Going to open up kind of what would you like to see or do here before we have the big batch? I have a thought. If you'd like to talk with Tony, always enjoy a moment with Tony. But there may be some other machinations you have in mind. So I'm opening up for something you might like to do.
Yeah, that works, because I was looking at Pack Leader, which I took and then never rolled, which is when you try to get someone on your side. And I feel like Tony is open to being on my side for this.
That sounds excellent. Alrighty. So probably, this is the big pay-per-view, so everybody's coming in. Most folks are kind of doing some hitting the gym early, then they'll go back, and some will make an entrance where the cameras will catch them coming up in their limo or whatever. But there's that early morning sort of people coming in, getting the last bits, hearing their books, all that sort of thing. And so you catch Tony. He's in the gym. Tony, despite being an enormous person, is actually in fairly good shape. I mean, he's fairly mobile. So as you come in, he's doing squats, and he's squatting about 900 just to get loosened up.
If he wasn't so sweet, he'd be terrifying.
And as you come in, he kind of, oh, hi, Rec.
Hey, Tony. Just look at the weights like, holy crap. Wow, just some light lifting to get the day started? My goodness, what?
It's good to get the back limbered up early. I find that I stiffen up if I don't kind of keep something going all through the day. You ready for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, as ready as I can be, I think.
We're going to give them a hell of a show.
This one. Oh, man, we are. It's going to be so great.
Have you seen Harvey?
No, I haven't actually seen him since the last run-in, and I'm hoping we can keep it all professional, but
I had a little talk with him, trying to say that it's all about doing the show and everything, but he always confuses me when we talk. He talked something about the hounds of winter descending upon the ring in a fearsome blood-soaked spatter, and I lost track and said sure, and just left.
I mean, he knows he's not really the Harbinger, right?
I don't think so.
Oh no.
Now I have actually been, you know, over the years we've gone out and drank, and I've met him when he wasn't exactly Harvey, but I've never seen him here when he wasn't.
I'm sure he's a nice guy underneath it all. Probably maybe.
You've heard he's put us in one of his special batches, right?
No, I didn't. I just heard it was a triple threat. What's...
Oh, it's a leaf and mud match.
What's that again? It's been a while since I've seen one of his.
They're gonna put a lining in the ring, and there'll be about 1.5 feet of mud and leaves. And there's stuff all underneath the mud.
I
Like
never thought it'd be mud
branches.
wrestling, and not with Harbinger.
I kind of spoke to Wolf, but apparently Harbinger, he insisted, and Jeffrey he likes that sort of shit.
Yeah, it's gonna make things a bit tougher for me, but hey, I'm light. It'll work. Yeah, if things go a little sideways, might maybe. I mean, you're probably the only one who can rein him in a little. I have a feeling that this might be more shoot than work for him.
Why don't we go ahead and have you roll the move so we can see how that looks?
I don't have luck, so I imagine this isn't going to go well.
You got a little momentum.
That's a 12.
Boom.
So I gain another heat, although I can't because I'm already max heat with Kraken.
All right. What else does it say?
I booked the finish of a match they're in. They join me as an enforcer, which would be hilarious, but probably not very appropriate. They come to your aid in a critical moment. And I think I'll pick that one because that seems like it gives you the most dramatic leeway.
Excellent. He's like, Rack, don't worry. I'll be there. And honestly, I hope you'll kind of watch my back too. I mean, I'm a big guy, but even I don't particularly want Harbinger to hit me in the back of the head with a tree branch.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of gesture to me versus Kraken. I definitely have a size disadvantage here, but I'll do my best. Yeah, I want to make sure that we put on a good show, but not actually clobber each other.
We'll work it out together.
Yeah, I mean, for the two of us in the ring, it's going to be great. I don't think Harbinger can mess with that.
I agree. It's going to be wonderful. As he puts you in the big old hug.
I squeak a bit as I'm crushed.
Alrighty, I think we'll end out scene there. Leandro, want to open up if there's a scene you'd like to see, or I also have Jeffrey Bleakwood wanting to speak with you as a potential as well. Anything you'd like to do?
Well, I had thought of Jeffrey. It's either that or yeah. I think. Well, let's go to Jeffrey. I think that's the most important scene to nail
Okay.
before the event.
He's left word that when you get in to come running by Creative's office, so when you show up, he's, oh, come on in, crush it.
Always nice. Always nice to see you, Jeffrey. What do you have in store for me today?
Good news. It seems like you are going to be going for the belt.
Wow.
After last week, the crowd is wild over it.
Well, well, this is an honor. This is it's not been that long, but Jeffrey, thank you very much. I think I'll go for a handshake.
It's well deserved. And along with that, there's plenty of beef going on. You know, I keep my ear to the door. I know what's going on. I know Bob and Harry hate each other. That just makes good chemistry in the ring. I mean, how could that go wrong? Having people that really hate each other fighting each other, that's just heat. That's what you want out of wrestling. And along with that, I tell you, the professor can't stand you either. So there's plenty of beef all over this. There's the history of you doing up a number on his leg. People remember all of this. They're looking for these grudges. I like to provide what people are looking for. That's what wrestling is, you know? Give them what they want.
Well, I think Zoe's kind of like smiling to herself. Can't hide the fact that, you know, she's in the main event. Despite not really, well, yeah, then the main event says, well, you're certainly delivering in spades, Jeffrey. I'll be honest. If I wasn't here and I was still in MMA, I'd be tuning in because all this drama backstage.
Now,
It's good TV for sure.
Prof's gone to the dark side, which I think's wonderful. I love Crazy Mad Scientist, and he does Crazy Mad really well, and now he's all evil. Loving it. But you can't just have nothing but heels in a ring. We're going to need a face somewhere, and there's someone the crowd can pull for. And you know what I'm thinking? That's not you. You're nasty. You hurt people. I like that. Prof's going to give a promo. You know, he's always great on the camera. It's what he does best. I want you waiting. About halfway through that promo, I want you to go out there and lay his ass out. It's going to make him mad as hell. He's going to come into that ring pissed. And then old Bob gets to come out being sweet baby face when this is all over. Still haven't decided who gets the belt, though.
Well, I guess that depends on Harry's prospects inside or outside the ring.
We signed him to a contract through the pay-per-view. Heat's good. I'll be willing to offer him another one. I mean, honestly, he might take it. I mean, we pay well. The way he's been doing, he'd even get more. Love to see him as a villain. He could put a whole stable together of his villains of yesterday or something. It could be crazy stuff.
Well, I certainly would tune for that. I'll say, call me an ignorant wrestling fan, first and foremost. I've never booked a show, but it does seem to me that it might be Bob's time.
It might be. I like that you're generous. See, someone would come in here and say, oh, I deserve that belt. And I'm the sort of person, well, I like a team player.
Well, just in the year here, I've noticed there's some people who think this is a sprint. They want to be first to the finish line. They want the knockout in the first round. Boom, 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 big impact, big money quickly. It's not really how I go about it, Jeremy. I'm more of a marathon gal, to be honest. Like, I'll get to the end. I'll get to the end of the 5 rounds. It might not be the most exciting, but it'll work. Get results. I'm not here to get big and flame out quickly. I'm here for the long haul. I want by the end of my career, to not just be a name in the annals of Gauntlet League Wrestling. No, I want to be a legend, but I'm not there yet. So
this is a first step, and I like your work ethic, and I like someone who goes out and does what I ask. People who do what I ask, they get ahead. People who don't do what I ask, they get left behind.
I think she just raised an eyebrow at that. And
let me tell you, when this match is going on, I'll be honest, I wouldn't mind seeing a redemption story. Bob wins, turning good guy. The fans love it. We get a hero win. That great babyface Bob. That's it. Professor comes out, really gets over with this evil gimmick. Really gets over as the big baddie. Ric Flair made a career out of being the nastiest bastard in the ring, holding onto the belt.
Well, again, not to be let's do shout out another ignorant wrestling fans' opinion, but you only need that one moment of redemption. Like, Bob can have it tonight, and then maybe he'll lose the belt as soon as maybe the next show. You only need just that one moment.
It's true. It's true. I'll keep that in mind. And again, the opinion of a team player means a hell of a lot more to me than some selfish bastard coming in here and demanding a belt.
Well, I'm glad you believe that, Jeffrey.
Crush, I think we're going to have a long and very, very productive partnership.
I look forward to it. She raises a hand. She has on hand again.
I want to ask you, do you want to try and make a roll to push for Bob to win this match, to get the book?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
This is outside the ring, so this could go either way.
So I think that this is you tried to get what you want, and it's probably rolling with luck because you're trying to charisma it out. It's conceivable, I guess. Well, I don't know if you might could do real, since you kind of came in and talked the real business here.
Yeah, I would go for real for mechanical reasons, mainly because my reel is better.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you came in here and laid the groundwork for real, so I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, wow. So that's a 12.
Well, all right. As you're heading out, I think we kind of see, the audience sees as you leave, Jeffrey looking down at the card, and you see where he has taken notes, and the people above can kind of not see the matches, but see where he's written in, like book to win off to the side. And you see him start writing booked to, and we'll cut from that. All right. So our first hour in, I want to do a couple of things real quick out of ring before we get to ring stuff. And give a little opportunity. I'm going to throw out ideas, but if someone has a thing they would really like to get in before we, hit these rings, that's perfectly fine too. Ryan, going to start with you. Of when you have the big pay-per-views, this is, kind of like WrestleMania. This is their big year event. There's all the extra crap that goes on around it. They have the booths and the merch and the everything going on and the meet and greets. So there's a lot of folks who come in and they've, everything's set up. We're going to do a little convention with you, if you don't mind.
I'd be delighted.
Of you going through and pressing the flesh a little. So you going out there, you're set to spend a little time at one of the tables signing autographs. You're set to hit your booth and be there for photos to sell your merch. And generally that sort of thing of walking through so the fans could see you here and there. As you're walking through, you encounter this set of kids, 3 of them, in that range of, like 10 to 13. And they come running up to you. Reckoning! Can we get an autograph? Now, this is off your table. You're not at your table.
But they're little kids. I'm gonna give them an autograph for sure. Adults can pay.
Thanks. Oh, wow. Reckoning, we're big fans. I mean, you're going up against the 2 biggest, nastiest guys in the whole league.
Yeah. But hey, sometimes, it takes a little guy to slay the monsters. So, don't worry about me. I've got it.
So you're not scared?
Nah, I'm never scared.
They kind of smile. Wow, that's amazing. I mean, we'd be scared if we were in there with Harbinger. He's crazy.
Yeah, and these old dark gods and fire and everything, but, that may work on someone like Kraken, but it can't scare me with a little bit of, fire and smoke, yelling in tongues.
They kind of look around and they go, "Are you going to bring fire to take down the Kraken?" That's all he's ever been scared of. The other kid goes, "I don't think he's scared of anything but fire."
Oh no, if I did that, the Harbinger would really hurt me. I don't think I need to resort to, cheap tricks to scare him. I think I can beat him square. But, we never know. You'll have to watch the match to see.
Well, the bigger kid kind of elbows. "That's right. Reckoning doesn't cheat like that."
Yes, Harbinger's a cheat. You heard it from me, kids. But I'm not going to say that. Yeah, but I probably need to get back to my table or they're going to start wondering where I went. And, kind of go tiptoe to indicate that I am a small person. I can get lost in the crowd pretty easily. But, yeah. Great talking to you. Hope to see you ringside.
All righty. Why don't we have you roll up the convention move?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to be rolling with work when you trade off your legacy to earn some cash.
Except I earn no cash, but some tiny fans.
There will be other stuff in the chances for that too, but still.
I got another 12. So
holy cow.
I think I'm going to completely bomb the match, but for now, I'm on top of things.
All right. With a 10, you get to choose 3 on the list. Do you see the list?
Where did I put the list?
It's page 3 of the road.
Aha! There we go. I keep looking for it to say convention and not with special guest. Okay, I'm gonna not give away something valuable. take momentum because knowing that the kid contingent is behind me is pretty rad because the monsters here are exciting. I can see why you would root for them. And the event leaves me feeling good.
Very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. Gonna scoot over to you, Gerwin. Unless you have something in particular you'd like to do, they're wanting you to go on the network and do a quick interview with the TV, the announcers. It's like TBS's little 30-minute news show or whatever sort of thing. But,
Okay.
it's the network that they're on. And,
Okay.
yeah, Wolf will say, go out there, build us up, build yourself up some, play some of that evil angle. People are loving it. I mean, we're getting calls all the time. People are pissed off that Professor Chaos has become a bad guy. They are really mad at you.
Oh, well, I have to give the fans what they don't want, don't I?
That's the biz. And so as you get there, they've got their usual 2 anchors, and they've set you off with one of them. We'll call him Max Smiley. And he's like, well, Professor K. Oz, quite a long and storied history you have in wrestling. But I think a lot of folks are starting to know you from your very successful show right here on this network. Tell us a little bit about what we might see tonight at the wrestling matches.
Oh, well, tonight is a culmination of 15 years of my career. I have gone from the lowest lows to the highest highs, and I've earned every bit of the success that I have. I've gone through the dark matches. I've gone through all the monsters. I've been crushed underfoot. And what did it get me? Didn't get me squat. Didn't get me anything. I was passive. I reacted to things. Oh, I'm done reacting. Oh no. Tonight, we will see the full story, the next shining chapter of the Professor. But not just the Professor. You see, I don't do this on my own. I haven't gone through any of this on my own. And you've got Igorovich standing at the side there. There is someone here who is very special to me. Very special and has a very dear place in my heart. Ash, and Terminatrix steps in. Terminatrix here has been at my side through this all. She has been the rock that I cleave to. She has been the one who has had my back this entire time. Oh, and I'll hold her hand. Oh, yes. She has been here for me, and I have been here for her through all the dark times. So, with that said, there's something I would like to do. And he goes down on one knee, reaches into his pocket, and takes out a ring.
Oh my goodness, I never thought this would happen.
And just say yes. And then we can rule this federation together as we always were meant to.
She's a terrible actress, so she's way over the top.
I'm not acting. This is an honest proposal.
Holy fuck. Really?
Yes.
Then she is altogether surprised then. As I want to know how likely, how have the two of you been? Do you feel like she's likely to answer yes?
Well, I've tried to set up that had a relationship earlier in the thing.
Right.
It's just everything has been so crowded. I've not been able to.
But
Bring
it's
in.
still a step to. Do you think she's ready to marry you?
I don't know.
Or is there some question? Think there's some question.
Should we let the dice decide?
I think we should. I would say either real or look.
I think I'm being as charming as I can at this point. So,
all righty.
Okay, so that would be a 12.
You see her, I mean, she looks stunned. And yes, Professor. Yes, and she will hug you. How is Igorovich?
Oh, I think he looks deeply hurt by this. You know, that whole build-up of there's someone who stood beside me all this. He's my former tag team partner. We've been tagging virtually the entire time I've been wrestling, 15 years now, and yeah, I don't think he's happy with this.
And Terminatrix is a known heel, so this is playing in the kayfabe as well. Igorovich being caught on camera kind of with a surprised and not particularly delighted look. So there's a weird kayfabe wibble wobble going on, which is as she hugs you, and you know, Max Smiley's like, "Oh my goodness, folks, a proposal right here on television." Backstage, this is when Wolf looks over at you, Crush Queen, and says, "Get him."
All right. Do I have what's the role here? Because I don't know if I want to dig. Oh, I should just go in. Just go in. Okay. So are the two of them hugging, or are they just
Yeah, they're hugging. Igorovich is kind of shocked and surprised standing there.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna march in and just violently rip the professor out of that hug and just straight up spike him on the floor.
Woo! All right. So how I'm gonna have this rolled is I'm gonna have you do it as a run-in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll come to you, Gerwin, and I'll ask if you're willing to sell once this goes. So, roll that run-in.
Heat with the professor. Oh, I got 3. Thankfully. Wow. Okay, I needed that. That bumps me up to a 10.
Excellent. You both gain heat with each other, and you get to pick one from the list. Now, if this is obviously that first one isn't going to get to, you know, we have some issues here with where it's playing to the match. But I think how I'm going to read it in this is I'm going to give you an option instead. I'm going to give you one off of the cut of promo, 7 to 9.
Okay. I am going to gain +1 momentum because I learned from that gauge value event that you always should have momentum. So I'm going to take that.
All right. Professor, this is a complete surprise. A beautiful moment was happening. Are you selling for this?
No, I'm not. I'm pissed. This was a legit moment for me. I'm scrambling up, and I am just. If this was a wrestling match, I would be shooting stiff, but you know, I am laying in the punches.
All right. Crush, that clearly he's coming at you. Are you responding in kind? We're not going to rolls. I just want to hear, are you responding in kind with y'all really boxing it out for a second here before security comes and drags y'all apart?
I think I'm playing it the defensive. Because I know punching. I know boxing.
Right.
And I know boxers. And you, Professor, are you a boxer?
Yes. Well, he's trained classically, but
he's physically capable.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think like he's going legit, and I think I'm surprised by that, but I'm kind of being defensive. Like I'm not gonna rise to him.
Not going to try and cross arm him and do something.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
So as you come in and you're wailing and you can see Crush is kind of pulling back, that's when security moves in. Wolf has kind of yells from the back. Igorovich will come over and kind of get you. Professor.
Can I actually suggest Igorovich backs off, turns his back, and goes away instead?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Terminatrix has kind of given this, what the? And she, for a moment there, she comes over and is looking like she's going to box at you too there, Crush, but the security's pulled y'all apart. Professor, I'm guessing you're yelling.
Oh, yes. I'm screaming obscenities. I'm absolutely off the deep end.
So on the news, which is live, they're cut the mic. As Max Smiley goes, wow, craziness here in the studio.
Would you like me to roll break kayfabe?
Yeah, let's get a break kayfabe. What the hell? We don't get enough of those. I always love them.
And that would be a 10.
Woo! All right.
There's definitely an audience for it somewhere.
Yep. Gain an audience, taking you up to 4, I believe.
That's right.
And we'll pull out of that scene as there is some, and Wolf will get you crushed and get you moved out, and he's like, oh, that was perfect. Oh, way to go. Oh, he is mad now.
I had an advance from last session, so I'm actually buying Terminatrix as an enforcer.
Okay.
So I just thought I'd
building up the stable.
Yes.
The villains of yesterday. All right. Let's see. I've done the convention. I had the two of you do that. Zach, anything you'd like to see or do before we head into matches?
I had an idea. I don't know. I was thinking maybe I could want to try to talk to the professor before the match and see if we...
I love it. This is a perfect time for that, in fact. I think that sounds grand. Is that good with you, Garwin? All right. So I think this is after gotten back from the TV interview. We're afternoon before the matches. I'm guessing you're going to the trailer, figuring that's where he is.
Yep.
You get a knock on the trailer door. I think.
What?
Yeah, I think Terminatrix probably there with you. And despite what's went on, she is super excited and just so happy and probably trying to calm you down a little because she has always been a company person. I mean, she's always towed the company line when it's probably going, yeah, it was just an angle, sweetie. It was just an angle.
But it was right. It was right in. Let's see if I can get the voice now. It was. This was supposed to be our special time. They didn't tell me about this. This was supposed to be special for us.
It was special, sweetie. Knock, knock, knock. You hear what is it?
What?
Perry, can I come in? Is everything okay?
Yeah, whatever. Nothing else can go wrong today.
Can we have just you and me Terminatrix? I think maybe a little bit of time to get alone together. Would that be okay?
Yeah, I look to Terminatrix, look to Bobby. Are you okay with this, son?
Yeah, I've got to go get all my stuff ready anyway. I'll be back in just a few. And she'll lean over and kiss you on the cheek. And as she walks by you, Bob, she'll say something along the lines of, we're getting married. showing you the ring.
It's like, congratulations, I heard about that.
And she's very pleased.
So I go and sit down. What is it, Bobby?
Harry, are you okay, by the way? I saw everything happen on the monitor, and
No, I'm not okay. I'm about as far away from okay as I can be. But
yeah,
but we're professionals here.
sure.
What can I, Bobby? Did you know Crush Queen was going to be in that match last week?
I did not. No, it was completely right past me. I wish I knew, and I would tell you, but Harry, while I'm here, we haven't had the best relationships in the past few weeks, I would say. It's, to put it lightly,
No, we haven't.
we haven't really seen eye to eye. On our views of wrestling and ideas of how the business should work. I don't know. I'm just tired of this, honestly, Harry. I am tired of really have to like finagle my way into this, taking something that it's probably, I don't know. I've really have fallen into someone that I really don't want to be.
I think that can be said for both of us. It doesn't bring me any joy to what's happened between us, if I'm totally honest.
Yeah. I had a talk with my brother Tony. I'm sure you met him. You told me that.
Yes, I did. Talk. Yes, we did.
I love him to death. I love my family. They're the only ones I got, and he really did put a lot of sense into me, like whether or not this is how I want to do stuff, and this is not how I want to do stuff. Yes, there's a lot of pride into what I do with what I do, but all this backstage shit, this is not how I want to do it. And I want to apologize.
I don't think you need to apologize. I honestly don't think you're the one that needs to apologize here.
Yeah? Why is that?
Well, let's just put it this way. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. It takes two to tango. I've been as much to blame for this as anyone else. And that pisses me off. That pisses me off. Do you know why? Do you know what I see when I look at you? Do you know what I see? I see me 12 years ago. You've got so much goddamn potential and you wasted in these goddamn hardcore matches. That's not going to be a long-term strategy. You're never going to have a long career doing that. It'll come to the end of the career, your body will be broken. What pissed me off so much is the fact that you can't see it. There has to be some of the showmanship. You can't keep putting your body through the line as you do. We're going into a match tonight. And if it's anything as grueling as what you've been through previously, either you, me, or the other one is going to come out hurt. And that's not what I want. There's more to wrestling than blood and guts. I offered to help you before. You took that as an insult.
Yeah. Well, what do you have for me now, Harry?
I still have my show. But more importantly, let me give you some advice. Put aside your weapons. Put aside your barbed wire, your light tubes. Yes, it's good for a cheap pop from the tweeners, but you know what sells merch and makes you stay? It's the young guns. It's the children.
All right.
Put a bit more showmanship into it. Let's not have this as a hardcore match tonight.
Okay.
Let's have this as a proper show, a proper storytelling. We can tell a great story.
I'm sure we can.
I'll take out 2 Heroes of Tomorrow mugs and pop open some beers and fill one up and pass it over.
Thank you.
Let's do this old school, like gentlemen.
Right.
All
Harry,
right. Yeah.
it's been nice working with you, and I really do appreciate what you've done for me. Though even it's hard, a lot of times it's hard to see you eye to eye with what you've been doing. So, but I do now see your point.
So we agreed then. No hardcore tonight.
No hardcore.
I'll lift up the mug, clash it together. And if you'd like, do you want to use the mentor move? Because I'm currently at luck 3.
Ooh,
What is it?
the sensei.
Yes, the sensei, sorry.
So if you'd like, you can accept this mentorship. That will let you take up your look and drop 1 other stat.
Let's see.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I just want to see what I can drop here. Sure, why not? I'll top up my luck by 1, and I will. I'll take my real off 1, so that be down to 0.
All right. I was going to say we could do in the car. What is y'all's heat, though? It's 4 already, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
So all that would happen is something bad, and I don't think this deserves a potential of something bad. I think this was a pretty scene. This was a nice resolving scene from what we've had this whole thing. So I don't think we're going to do that in the car. I think we're just going to close that scene with the 2 of y'all clinking mugs. Nicely done, gentlemen. Nicely done. Well, we're going to take our break, and we're going to come back, and the first match we're going to do is the title match. Not because it isn't worthy of being the top of the bill, just because cleaning up the ring after the mudded leaf match is so damn hard. So, let's take 6 minutes, come back at 5 after the hour. That's going to give us a full, pretty darn close to an hour and a half to play these matches. And I think we're going to get something beautiful and still be able to have a moment for some epilogue at the end and maybe hear a little roses and thorns. So that's our plan. Let's take 6. See y'all shortly. folks at home, hopefully y'all have enjoyed this run of Battle for the Belt. Feel free to watch other stuff here on both the Gauntlet and that I put up. And I'll tell you, if you really enjoy WWW, there is a ton on Gauntlet that Lowell Francis has run. Gerwin here has run as well. It is a magnificent game, and you will see from both of them some of the best ever out there of GMing it. All right.
I think Lowell takes the cake.
He's got a lot of experience. Lowell has run a bunch, and he certainly has a real touch for it.
So I was at a LARP event this last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things we've got leather crafters that make hero belts there. I've commissioned a copy of the Gauntlet League Wrestling belt.
That is awesome. Oh my God, that is so phenomenal. I cannot wait to see it.
Don't tell Lowell. It's going to be a surprise, but...
Oh, that is phenomenal. Oh my God, how cool. Oh, that is phenomenal.
I've got to figure out how to get it to him as a surprise. We'll probably talk to Sherry at some point, but...
That's a lovely idea. Oh my God, that is phenomenal.
The only reason I'm on the Gauntlet is because Lowell, and I wanted to say thank you. So,
Lowell's the reason that I'm on the Gauntlet, watching his WWWs. That was how I was introduced to the Gauntlet, and that is what made me join.
Same here.
Mm-hmm. I got WWW as an anniversary gift from my lovely hubby, and because I love wrestling and I love role playing, and he found WWW, first PBTA game I ever saw, and so we watched. He was like, "Oh, somebody's running it. You can watch them run it." I was like, "Okay, let's do that." I don't know about this watching people role play on video. What is that? And then I became addicted. Holy cow! Have I started watching AP since? And I'd wait Saturdays and go, when is he putting up the next episode? I'm so ready for the next episode.
And the Hooded Luchador. It's such a shame that it's so intensive for him to do those. I so enjoyed the recaps.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like the Luchador too. Oh, all right. Well, gang, here we go. The big pay-per-view. And the show gets started. The Gauntlet Arena is full. There are close to 9,000 people in attendance here, which is about capacity for the arena, honestly. Outside, they have all of this stuff that they've done, games and all these sort of things. And they have the Titantron out there for the people who are inside sort of these VIP tents. So altogether, this has probably got 15,000 in attendance, being broadcast live across the network. So it is a big to-do. And actually, not live across the network, live across the pay-per-view, sorry. It is huge, big event. So when it starts off, you hear inside the arena, the fireworks outside, the fireworks go off as entering into the ring, Sippy Cups introduces Jeffrey Bleakwood to come out and welcome everybody. People remember him from his crazy goth, nutty, weird character, but they also know that he's, the now head of creative here, and they boo him for both of those. He gets the horrible razz as he tells these people in various ways that they're not smart enough to understand what he does here for this promotion, and that he's the reason that some of these people are getting up there, and you are all maggots out there, before he finally leaves the ring to booze. We get our first couple of matches. We get a percolator, Stan the Percolator, going up against Ripper Jones. We get a tag match. If we remember, we had kind of building up Rattler Queen and Serious Business to go for the title. They end up taking on the Gorgon and Dr. Explosiones, and managed to win the tag team belts. We have they have a gimmick match that they run, which is this kind of a a rumble where they have a series of some of the older wrestlers come in, as well as the local high school mascot comes in and gets the crap beaten out of them. Full big gimmicky battle royal. Then we get to the second half of the show and it starts getting serious. People are getting ready for it. Gonna start with you there, Rec. It's time for you to give a promo to hype yourself up for this big top of the card match. How do you see it? Is it a package? Do you have it already like video? Does it just play on the Titantron? Is it an interview? Or do they just catch you face to camera?
It's probably a promo that's just going to play because they want to minimize the places this could break down, given they're going to have to fill the ring with mud later on. Dang, I think it probably is just like a recorded interview or something that's going to play, but
Okay.
not right now, because I can't think of a way that she would just be addressing a camera for fun and have that play neatly.
Okay. Well, and again, you're kind of promoing for the end of the, event. So we can hold off if you'd like and want to think about it a few.
Sure, give me a second. I'm mentally running through promos going, what the heck fits? Oh no.
All right. Well, we're going to cut then and have you, because your match is the next one up on the card, Crush Queen. What do we hear from you? And as soon as you pop up on the either in person or the Titantron, you're getting the boos. You're a heel's heel at this point.
I think it's at the locker room, and the camera just catches her. She's just sitting down. There's a towel over her neck, and she just looks at the camera as if she's hearing the boos, and just smiles and just says, on one hand, we have this time-traveling children's hero doofus. On the other hand, this unhinged lunatic who's about 2 bumps away from the morgue. And there's me. Now, when you're faced with such ridiculous odds, why would anyone bet on me? Well, to tell you the truth, Gauntlet League Wrestling, there's no one else to bet on but me, because unlike these two, I'm going to be here for a long time because I know how to hurt both of them. I'm the one who's going to bring both of them back to Earth.
Awesome. Oh, that was a good one. If you had to pick one of them, who you think you were rolling the promo
on? Probably Bob.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Then roll that promo.
And my look is tragic. My look is tragic. But my roll was not. So it was it's still a 9. I rolled an 11, but it was a minus.
Would you
2.
like to spend a momentum to get up to 10?
No, I learned my lesson spending my momentum outside of matches. Again, watch Gerwin's recent Gage Valley Wrestling event.
Yeah, there's really not much use in it. It'd gain you a momentum to lose a momentum, so you'd break even. So pick one off the 7 to 9.
Yeah, I'll just gain more momentum then.
All right. So, there's the people are booing it. I think that was a really good promo, though. That's serious fighter promo. That was first rate. They're booing, and so at the end of your promo, we get another match, which I think we're going to end up. It'll be Monsieur Le Truc versus Le Punk in a Quebec killer match, in which at the end, Monsieur Le Truc, the spirit jumps from him and takes over Le Punk. and the two of them go cackling from the ring together to form what is going to be the Quebec Geists, a tag team of supernatural proportions. Then we cut to Bloody Bob, your promo before your championship match. And you are currently a heel, correct? Yes.
I am currently a heel. Yes. Excuse me. I think you see okay, so I think what you see is like kind of like a pre-recorded kind of like a video package VTR situation of previous bouts with the other two wrestlers, kind of like a montage, and like kind of like you hear the commentary on the back. It's like, and you hear professors like at the like last sessions, just kind of like the injury move that the professor did on my leg, and then you see Bobby in the middle of the ring in this video and it's like everything is all dark, but you just see the spotlight in the middle of the ring. And then he has his golf bag full of light tubes.
Is this the ring while everyone's there, or is this like a shot of you in the ring in the empty auditorium?
It's in the video.
Right. So it's the empty auditorium.
Yeah. Empty auditorium. And then Bloody Bob says, tonight's the night. The time's come for Bloody Bob to win the title. And for Bloody Bob to win the title, he chucks away the golf bag. It's like, no bullshit, no gimmick, no light tubes, no blood. So Bloody Bob and the two wrestlers. And then just like close up on his face, and I think that's it.
Awesome. Do you feel like you were calling someone out? Was that a promo you called someone out, or you think you were working the audience instead?
Maybe I was just working the audience instead.
All right. That sounds good. Roll with the momentum. Yes, Gary?
That could even be a face move if you want to do a face turn.
Yeah, you could.
Sure, yeah. I mean, what is a face move?
You could now you'd spend 2 momentum, but you could get a heat, or you could get add a stipulation. I don't know if you even want to do that.
Yeah,
In fact, it could just be working the audience and a face turn
Right, and not spend momentum and just not pick one of those moves, but you could go ahead and have it have turned your face. That would save you 2 momentum later. Oh no, that's to do a move actually, but you'd still have.
I think I'm just gonna do work the audience.
All right, roll it with audience.
Yeah. My audience is 3. So it's a 9.
Ooh, would you like to spend 1?
I think I'm good.
Okay. So you get a choice there of whether you want to have 1 momentum, or would you like to go ahead and claim control of the start of the match?
I'll just take 1 momentum.
All right. Playing wise, hoping for luck, maybe, when it gets to the start of the match. All right. The crowd, there's that kind of a little confusion because this was in a lot of ways a bit of a face promo in that, you're throwing aside the blood and I'm going in there to do my best, showing the injuries done to you. So there's a little confusion, but so you're getting kind of the boos when they first saw you. And then towards the end, you're hearing the bloody Bob, as, they're cheering up what kind of has come out there. So we've got that little wibble wobble, the lovely edge of unsurety. Wonderful. We get another match. It's probably going to be something like a return match for Clarabelle, and going to be going up against, I think we're probably going to see going up against El Toro. And since it's a return match for Clarabelle, she hadn't been on the roster in a while. It's designed to end up being a squash into a schmoz, as they're setting up Clarabelle for future stuff. So after the squash, we get a run in and battling in the ring. And, it's kind of playing that maybe we're going to have a face Clarabelle is kind of what they're playing. We'll see. People are getting that vibe as it heads back. All right, I'm going to come to you to see if you'd like to do your promo. Your match still at the end of the card, but I want to give the champ the chance to have last promo.
That's fair, yeah. So it's probably just a video thing, playing over the Titantron. It's showing her fighting her way to, not really the top of the card necessarily, but to the most monstrous side of the card. Font changes. All sorts of nonsense. And probably there's ever show it off to her fans, and then that kick to Harbinger's neck. Yeah, that's definitely gonna come back and get her because she has weakened the monsters. But just look at them compared to her. There's no way she's getting out of here at this dirt and leaves, mud and leaves, whatever you call it, match. She's gonna get pounded into paste. Or will she slay the monsters? Just blah, blah, blah. Nonsense. I am not bothering to put in all the phrasing because I can't think about it quickly enough. But I imagine there's lots of pink sparkles in contrast to flames and Kraken logo and that kind of stuff.
Excellent. And let's roll and see how people take that. Who did you feel like you called out in that? Harbinger?
I think I'm calling out Harbinger more, because clearly I was aiming for him, because Kraken you can scare off with fire. Harbinger is the real one here. Also, Harbinger's the one that I am scared about breaking me.
What's your heat, by the way, with Kraken and with Harbinger?
I've got 4 with Kraken and a mere 2 with Harbinger.
So a good choice. How'd you do?
That is a 3. But I get to add my real, which makes it a 4.
Oh, well.
So on a botch, I lose 1 audience, as the crowd doesn't buy that I'm a real threat.
They don't. I mean, they see this, and there's even a little bit of, while the hype has been building up, and there have been people who've liked this kind of David Goliath story, they're seeing you now in your promo almost points out how small you are compared to these guys. And they're kind of thinking, okay, this is just an add-on for some, a little bit of pop, just wanting to get the, have a good one out there for the 2 big guys to beat the crap out of, sort of thing.
And my sparkly pink action figure is probably going to be fun, but who would match it with those? They don't look right together. No one's going to buy both.
So you lose an audience. Oh, ouch.
Does that take you down to 0 audience?
It does. So I advance, but oops.
Yeah, would you get an advance? You may choose to take a full-on advance, or you could take your audience back up to 1. You've got a little time. Your match is at the end. You're going into the match with somebody that you have 4 heat with, so you're going to at least get 1 audience back. So I would look at some moves. Maybe this is the time to pick that last cool, awesome move you've always wanted to. And now we're going to get to the champion.
Can I actually take a step back and do my promo on the way to the ring once everyone's in?
You certainly can. Now we're going to the ring. But you're going to be coming in last. So we're going to see. I think Crush Queen, you're getting first entrance. So what do we see? Give your big splashiest, the most money they've got to give intro.
Well, I think the biggest they can go for a shoot fighter with not much flair or pizzazz is, well, they got a live band to play their music. And I don't know if sleigh bells are big wrestling fans, so they'll probably take the money. So yeah, I think they're set up next to the stage. And if it's like any time a live band shows up in a wrestling event, it's always mic'd poorly, the levels aren't right. Because sorry, that's a pet peeve of mine. No, I think this works out fine here. No, Gauntlet League, they're doing fine. So yeah, I think it's the stabbing guitars, but it's again the band is there, and I think that is just a big difference because again, Zoe doesn't have the most flashy of entrance.
And you do a stomp down entrance.
Yeah, I think usually I just come out, in the middle of the first verse, but we let the band play out to get to the chorus when they're screaming demons at the audience. That's when I kind of come out with the.
You're getting the booze. You want to do anything for a little cheap heat?
No, I think her character is above that. She's just there to break people.
All right.
I think the big difference is her sleeveless hoodie is just a bit longer.
Excellent. All right. You enter into the ring. The band finishes playing. They take a few moments to clear the band off, though they leave the drum set there by the ring. Always something useful there to play with should someone get thrown outside. Maybe a temptation for Bloody Bob. All right. Bob, you get next entrance.
All right. So as usual, there's a blackout and spotlight at the top of the ring. Bob comes out and you see this hooded figure, which is Bob, and then he walks slowly down to the ring as always. You see him limping. I think he's selling his injury. It's not that bad. His injury is okay. Right? It hasn't but he's really playing it. So that's kind of the angle that he's going for in the match. There's a disadvantage of the injury, and then gets to the ring, and then gets to the middle of the ring, and then he kind of comes out of this hood, and you just see bright lights flashes, and then you see his ring gear, which is usually black, is in white, full white. His long hair is dyed white, and still with the same face paint with
awesome
white face paint with the black tears. So
cool.
Yep.
As you head in, give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Just 2 seconds. I have something going on in the other room.
All right.
And now we take over. Wah, wah, wah. Hang on.
I already feel terrified. You in control.
Oh, do not adjust your television set. I control the vertical and the horizontal. Welcome to a place beyond thought, beyond reason. Welcome to Gauntlet League Wrestling. It turns out this is all just a fever dream in Lowell's mind at the end of the episode, and
once we wrap up, it cuts to him waking up in bed.
with a straight jacket on in a padded room, and because this has been absolutely crazy, and only a deranged mind could come up with that. Ladies and gentlemen, this event tonight has been brought to you by the CW. The CW. It's superheroes, but for young people.
As opposed to.
You knew wrestling was a soap opera where people hit each other sometimes. What if they didn't hit each other, but they made out more? The CW.
Wrestling could do with more making out.
Well, that is, of course, entirely the reason that, the wedding. If the game had been going on longer, we would be actually having that wedding in the middle of the ring as a segment.
Yeah.
Really, you CWify the Gauntlet League wrestling.
I'm seriously considering running, trying to find some way to adopt the Passion de Passiones rules and actually do it 1 week of wrestling, then 1 week of like Totally Divas.
That would be
sounds
so
amazing.
sick. I'm super into that. Yeah.
I have crazy ideas for WWW. I have an idea for doing a fantasy based one at some point. So elves and dwarves and orcs, and it's still wrestling, but with elves and dwarves and orcs and magic.
I played a Dungeon World game. Like we switch off, like me and my friends switch off GMing, and then like his thing is like there's gonna be a wrestling promotion in the middle of this like fantasy world, and so we did that.
The LARP I play, the LARP I crew and write for that I was playing the last weekend. One of the some of the magic in it is what we call dramaturgy. So you actually put on masks, you put on personas, and cast the magic by basically telling a story with them. And there's a few of us there that are have trained wrestling schools. So we're thinking about getting some mats and basically just doing the rituals and the magic as wrestling shows.
If you want to cast a fireball, you have to do a perfect elbow drop. Go.
Sorry about that. Had a neighbor drop by all of a sudden. All right. So, did we get our full? Zach, as you get down to the ring and move in, how are you facing off against Crush Queen there?
Wait, it's not a triple threat. It's a one-on-one match. And...
No. It's a triple threat. I'm just saying, do you come in and like your buddies, or do you kind of get the point down? What are you doing?
I think it's just a straight up stare down. Just I go to my corner and just I hear from my corner.
Gotcha. Y'all looking across, very serious. All right, champ. Let's get that promo and see that entrance.
The lights go down. Flashing lights go all around the outside of the ring, all along the actual gantries as well. There's music building up, and suddenly it plays out to the Heroes of Tomorrow theme, but in a minor key. And the lights come up. There's fireworks. There's explosions. And rather than the spaceship he normally comes down from, he steps out to the top of the ramp. And he's holding the belt over his shoulder. He holds his hand out to the curtain, and Terminatrix comes out at his side. And he raises her hand, and she passes him a microphone. Oh, thank you, darling. People of Gauntlet City. Oh, I'm back. Your beloved champion is here again. Oh, I can just hear you now screaming my name.
Oh, the kids
Scream
are
it.
booing. Ooh.
Oh, this has been a long, long road. And I've worked so very hard to get here. I have fought evil in the future. I have fought evil in the past. I have fought evil in that very ring. But you know what it took to win this? You know what it took to win this? I wasn't willing to take that next step. I wasn't willing to go that one step beyond. Whenever I fought a villain, they would get away, and I would fight them again 2 weeks later, a month later, a year later, season after season. Oh, but that's not happening tonight. Can I roll the move now before I finish the promo?
You certainly may.
Okay, that's an 8, and I'm going to bump it up to a 10.
Good show. All right, gain a momentum, and you pick one off the
No.
list.
Actually, no, I'm not going to, because it would cost me 2 momentum to bump it up, and I'd only get 1 back.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to leave it as an 8.
Good show.
No, that's not going to happen tonight. He reaches into his lab coat, pulls out a piece of paper. You see, I've had a word with the management. The management respect what I say. The management appreciate everything I have brought to this federation. And you see, tonight, 3 people will enter that ring, but only 1 will leave. Tonight, those who lose are fired. And I'm adding a stipulation to the match.
Oh, I love it. Oh, high stakes. Bravo. That's phenomenal. All right. As you head down to the ring,
I head down to the ring. I stop on the way, and I'm paying more attention to the teenagers than the children.
gotcha.
And I'll get down to the ring. The ref goes to take the belt off me, and I'll stop him. This is mine. This is ours. I'll take it off. I'll hand it to Terminatrix.
Oh, get the boo.
I'll take out a cloth, polish it up a bit.
Little cheap heat.
Yep.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, they hate it. They're booing. They can't believe their hero, the kids. There's even some of them that are crying, "No, Professor." I remember when I watched Wahoo McDaniels turned heel, I cried. So it is going to be, I think it's got to be the champ that starts in control. I mean, you're the champ.
So I will walk into the middle of the ring. I'll put my hand out to Bobby.
Bobby suspiciously stares at the hand. Give it, but just slap it.
No, as you reach forward, I pull it back. No. And I'll come over to Crush Queen. I'll offer the hand.
I think Crush Queen does is she's kind of backs away, leans on the turnbuckle, looking bored, and just gestures at the two of you to be like, "Go on, you've got your thing. I'm gonna watch here."
Very well. And he'll go into the Marcus Queensbury stance. Come on. And Bobby will smack him hard. Bobby will knock him all over the ring. He wasn't preparing he wasn't expecting this. He wasn't prepared for this. And Bobby is just shining out there, and he's selling it for all it's worth. I'm rolling a wrestling move with luck, but in this case, the offense is entirely with Bobby.
Yeah. All right. So you're selling the getting hell torn out of you around through sequence after sequence. Roll that look.
That would be a 9.
Ooh, very nice. Gonna bump it or no?
Well, I'm already at full heat with Bobby, so I'll take the momentum and hand off control to Bobby.
All righty. So, Bobby, you have been just wrecking and reeling the old professor there through the ring. I think Crush Queen's over there sitting back, just enjoying the show at the moment. And Ryan, by the way, you are on the table. What do you do, Bloody Bob?
So, continuing the utter decimation of Professor, he whips the Professor onto the turnbuckle and in one corner, and he goes over to the Reckoning, Crush Queen, and kind of like do a little brawl and whip her to the opposite corner, and he goes in the middle of the ring and starts doing this, and winds up his arm, and he does that kind of like back and forth clothesline, one corner to the opposite. So like bam, 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 and that's kind of my spot.
Excellent.
My big spot.
We think that's do we think that's giving look, or do you probably might be power?
Might be power, but I think it's more of like, like I'm showing you what I can do type of situation. So I say it's a look.
Okay.
It's a 9.
All right. Want to stick with the 9?
Let's see.
You go to 10, you'd still pick up a momentum, or you could pick up a heat.
I think I'm gonna give out control and get a momentum.
All right. Who are you giving control to?
Let's give it to Crush Queen.
All right.
Okay. So you're doing your clotheslines, and I think when you're winding up the crowd as well, it's that proper Daniel Bryan, everyone going oh, and I think for the last one when you kind of Bob has kind of pumped the crowd at the last one. Zoe Crush Queen's gonna duck out of the way. You smash into the Professor once more. Professor's gonna stay there for the moment, and you kind of turn around, and Crush Queen gets you with a big right hand, and Bob reels, and she's going to grab kind of like your right arm and pull Bob towards Zoe, and I don't know how to describe it, but she's going to flip in a way that she's going to have you down on the canvas in an arm bar, and Bob is going to be like grabbing towards the apron or to the ropes, and I think like and he'll get to the ropes, and triple threats technically have no DQ, but Zoe's gonna let go just to be like, and let go just to be nice.
All right. So I think that's our spot though, is that big armbar takeover into and then the break.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds technical to me.
Yeah.
So
it was either work or working with an opponent, because Bob has to take this. But I think it's
okay.
Yeah, let's go with work. And here we go. Let's see if my luck holds. Oh, thank Christ. It does for now. That's a 9.
Excellent. All right. So take in momentum, or are you going to hold on to control?
I like this passing along control bit. I'll pass along to the Professor because he's free at the moment.
All right. So gain a momentum, and Professor, you've had a moment to regroup.
Okay. So you're in the armbar on the floor at the moment? Professor,
it's just getting broken as he's touched the rope.
Okay.
So we're just getting the break as you take over.
Okay, so the Professor will run over and kick the rope out of Bobby's hands, and then just go back and basically be sitting in the corner, and I'm working the audience.
Excellent. Okay, so you kick him off the rope. So the armbar gets pulled back. Okay, so back to the center of the ring, and Crush Queen, you're still in the armbar as the Professor moves back. They are booing the heck out of you.
So I got a 12 on that.
Ooh, Fantastic.
Sorry, 13.
13. Holy crud.
So I think that's another mythic moment.
Oh, so it was a natural 12. Oh,
Oh, no.
all right.
No, it wasn't, but I've got audience for at the moment.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And Table, what do we hear? What do you say about the professor's perfidious actions?
It's just rough watching the professor like this. He's a shadow of his former self. I mean, look at the tactics he's fallen to. Man, I get him. What have you? I don't know who I'm supposed to be rooting for here. You're also awful.
They are at the moment all such nasty people, and when you work the audience, you are going to get to pick one here, Gerwin. You turn them against your opponent, they can no longer work the audience or get cheap heat for the rest of the episode. Or you whip them into a real frenzy, gaining audience as they storm the ring.
I think they're enjoying seeing Bobby get hurt at this point.
Ooh, all right. So you think you turn them against Bobby. Bobby, it means you can't work the audience or get cheap heat. All right. So we actually have a crowd because they all think you're nasty. They think you're all three nasty. So they're laughing at the professor doing this and screaming for Crush Queen to break his arm. As you turn over, well, that goes to Beta, who gets controlled now. I think I actually want to see what happens in that arm bar. So I'm going to give it back to you, Crush Queen. Just see what you transition from out of the arm bar.
Okay. I think I got his armbar and Zoe has his like almost like relaxed, like, but she's wrenching it, and because she doesn't think that Bob's a hardcore guy, he's not gonna be able to pull anything. But I think he does. I think he manages to suddenly try a roll up on Zoe, and yeah, 1, 2, kick out, and Zoe looks annoyed, and Bob probably has like yeah, I can do your shit. Like I can wrestle moment, and I think so the professor is kind of like just kind of there working the audience, right? Yeah.
Just sitting in the corner, arms on the ropes, watching. In fact, he's got this chaos gauntlet out, and he's watching YouTube. And
I think
in fact, I think I've got a camera built into it, and I'm live streaming onto the Gauntletron.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, the ghost of Tyler Breeze lives on. So yeah, so Bob kind of like you thinking it, and Zoe just kind of like rolls her eyes, and again, a lightning quick jab to Bob to discombobulate them, and then she's gonna Irish whip him straight into the professor.
Ooh, nice. Sound like the spot there. So you think is that technical, or you think it's power to slam into the professor, doing them both, or what do you think?
I think it's power. I think it's a proper like throw really hard. It's not just gonna bounce over; it's gonna bounce against the turnbuckle.
Right. You're wanting it to look big, and you're not trying to hurt anybody, but you're wanting it to look good and big.
Yeah.
Excellent. Roll it up.
All right, that's a 7.
All right, taking momentum or keeping control.
I'm gonna keep taking momentum. Pass this along to Bob.
All right, Bob, you've been Irish whipped into the professor. Professor, you selling that?
Oh yes, definitely.
And Bob, you got whacked into the professor. You selling the hit?
Oh yeah. And he's kind of like selling his back. Also his knee too, kind of, that like whichever leg he is injured. And he kind of like stays down for a little bit, and as he gets up, grabs the professor, power slam him in the middle of the ring, and this is what he does. This is his spot. He takes off his knee brace, he's been wearing, and kind of like put it over the professor's like face, into a camel clutch. And that's his spot.
All right. So grab, slam, got that camel clutch in with the brace.
Yeah.
Roll it up. Do we? That sounds like look.
That sounds like luck. It's just like nasty playing that heel. Literally. Seven. Roll the 7.
All right. Taking momentum, spending some momentum. Are you gonna keep control?
I think I will take the momentum and give the control to the professor.
All right. Professor.
Okay, I'm stuck in the middle of the ring. I tried crawling forward. I get pulled back. I tried crawling forward. My hand reaches out. Terminatrix is outside. I'm reaching for her. She reaches in and grabs my hand and yanks me to the ropes.
They call break.
Ref calls over, calls the break. But Bobby gets up, turns around to look at him. And while he's round, I turn around and take out the back of his knee.
Ooh, chop block.
I'm not working stiff. This is all for show.
Right.
So I'm playing up the injured knee and just bang to the back of the knee.
Excellent. By the way, what is your injury move, Bob? I'll let you check on that a second while you go ahead and do your roll, Gerwin. Sounds like, I don't know, is that look or technical?
I think it's fully luck.
Okay.
I'm playing up the story here. And that would be a 10.
Ooh, beautiful. All right, you're going to maintain control. You want 2 momentum, or would you like a heat?
Well, I'm at 4 heat with everyone here, so I'll take the 2 momentum.
I think this is going to be a good time, too, for us to resolve those feuds. This will be a perfect chance for that at the end of the match. Excellent. So 2 more momentum, and you still got control.
Bobby goes down, clutching his knee, at which point I yank the leg. I yank him to the side of the ring. I yank down under the ropes. I take him out so his leg's hanging out over the rope. I'm up and I yank it down.
Oh, beautiful.
I grab the leg. I run over to the corner so he's up against the turnbuckle. And I smash it against the actual ring post.
Nice.
I do it again.
Oh.
Again. And I turn around grinning and I stop as I see 2 children in the audience. And you see the professor's face freeze.
They're crying. Oh, no, Professor.
He looks at his hands. He looks at Bobby. He reaches for the leg one time. Another time, he drops it and leaves it. I'm definitely working the audience at this point.
Excellent. Roll me that work the audience.
And this is just hard to watch. Where's a hero of the future when you need it?
So that would be a 14.
Woo! All right. You gained 2 momentum. As the kids, do you have an idea?
Well, I was going to say I'm doing a face turn at this point. And
you are doing the face turn?
Yes.
Okay. Because I think you're getting from the kids, they've seen you fighting this. Professor, no, and they start cheering as you're fighting against it. And then the chant starts going from the kids. K-Oz, K-Oz. As you throw it down, turn back to the audience with the look of having thrown aside these evil intents. Is that what they see as you?
Yes. I'm totally shocked about what I'm doing, and I go over. I take the belt off of Terminatrix. I look at it, and I tear it. I try and tear it apart.
Oh Lord! All right. So we're gonna.
While this is going on, I'll pass control to someone else.
All right, we'll come back to that and have you do see if you can do a feat of strength. As we go back over to in the ring. Who'd you pass it over to?
I think I'll pass it over to Crush Queen at this point.
Crush Queen, you've got control as this is going on. Bob, almost certainly you've been, I guess you're selling the leg, all that leg wrenching and all, right? Yeah. So, Queen, you have got Bob on the ropes, as it were.
Wait. So what's Professor trying to rip apart? The belt? Okay.
Well, the
Alright.
belt's leather with the plate on it. So he's basically just trying to tear the plate off and basically wreck the belt.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like perhaps the belt was the source of his evil all along. Will he destroy it?
You've got it.
Commentary,
Yeah.
hopefully trying to make sure the audience understands this match.
Exactly. That's what you're for. Ultimate power must surely corrupt ultimately, right?
I think, yeah, when Crush Queen kind of gets up in the ring, sees that happening, looks a bit confused, but yeah, she's gonna go to Bob and kind of drag Bob's carcass from the corner, and I think they'll whisper, "The hell is Harry doing?"
Dude, fuck if I know.
Should we let him rip up the belt?
Dude, you should just let him do what he wants. Just work on me. Just keep working on my legs. I'm gonna sell the shit out of it.
Okay. All right. I think Crush will be like, no, you've been beaten up too much here. And I think what's gonna happen is I am gonna go work for your legs, but you're gonna spring to life and try to do a small package on Crush Queen. But again, it's a 2 count. I don't know if the professor noticed that the match is happening behind him, but no, I want to see that roll later. So maybe the professor doesn't see it yet. So spring about, and I think Crush Queen's face looks really annoyed now. Bob is like still in this and taking all this punishment, all this wrestling punishment. Well, I guess the knee to the turnbuckle is punishment plenty, and I think it is kind of a rally. I think Zoe looks unhinged, goes for a clothesline. Bob ducks, punch to the face. Zoe goes another clothesline. Bob ducks again, a punch to the face. And Zoe, I think what's going to happen is Zoe is going to catches your next punch. She's going to try to do the armbar again, but you've got this scouted. So instead, you manage to flip her around into a DDT and plant her on the canvas.
Lovely. Sound like something maybe Heat?
Yeah, exactly. We're working together.
I like that.
Yeah. My Heat is very good right now. So okay, that's a 9, and yeah, I'll keep it to a 9. Plus,
All
wait,
right.
wait, hold on. I was thinking of a different person. This might not be a 9. Oh, that's a 7. Still the same.
Still going to keep it that 7. You handing over power, taking the Mo?
Yeah. Yeah. Hand it over to Bob.
Having it over to Bob. All right. I'm going to have you, Bob, go ahead and do your thing, and then we're going to come to the professor outside here in a moment. But, Bob, you've got control of the match. You just planted Crush Queen with that DDT. That's a move you've done before, I think. I think we've seen that move from you, so the people are recognizing it.
Right.
You also know this match is about to get wrapped.
Okay.
They're calling. So I want you to get off your action. We're going to have the professor do what he does, and then I'm going to call the book.
Okay. So I think he is going to okay, so here's what's going to happen. I think while they're both I think the Bobby just still sells the knee or something, while the Crush Queen takes off the turnbuckle pads, and I think you see Crush Queen trying to steal a page out of Bob's book of playing a little bit dirty, and you see and I'm just like, and she picks her up and it's like, okay, just whip me to the turnbuckle, and does that, and just like blood, just like gets the blade from somewhere, does a little bit of color, and then he gets really pissed, and then you see Bob, because the Crush Queen stole something from Bob's book, and then I think Bob's gonna do the armbar on the Crush Queen.
Gotcha. Okay. So we see that smash up. So we got a bit of the blood coming down. And as coming in again, you reverse into that arm bar. Sounds like work. Or you think y'all work this together?
I have
You got a move for it?
I think I have a move for it when I'm bloody. Red means
I mean,
when you're covered in blood, substitute look for any other stat. So
okay.
You'll
be rolling look.
Yeah, rolling look. You see this image of like Crush Queen and Bloody Bob, center middle of the ring, and then just Crimson Mask, just writhing.
Got the full Dusty Rhodes going on there, and that white hair. So I mean, it's spread back. You're pink haired now.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so roll the 9. 10. I guess that's a 10.
Woo! All right. That's going to give you choice 2 momentum or +1 heat, and you got control still.
I'll
spend I'll spend a momentum to seize control of the match.
All right. Which one did you choose?
I'll gain 2 momentum.
You gain 2 momentum. You have control of the match. I think this is a feat of power, but I will allow, if you had this already in mind, I'll allow you to look. I'll allow you to use a look as you prep to the belt.
I'm willing to roll power move if you want.
I like the power move. Let's go with the potential for failure. Let's go with power.
Okay.
Oh, and seemingly oblivious to the match behind him, Professor Chaos is still tearing at that belt.
That's a 2.
Oh, what didn't matter what we were doing. All right.
And there's a bit of a problem here.
Uh-huh.
On a 2, I pick up an injury.
You do.
And when I'm injured, match is called off for excessive violence. I would like to use my Technico move at this point.
Uh-huh.
And change the booking.
Okay.
Because people can't rush down to me. I'll go. I've ripped the plate off the belt. I can see.
And I think as you did it, it snapped weird, so it like came across. You pulled it across, and it probably sliced you.
Yeah, and I'll look to the wrestlers in the ring. I look at the plate on the belt, and I'll throw it into the ring for them to land in front of them. That's yours. That's yours. I do not want any part of this. Power corrupts, and ultimate power corrupts ultimately. I do not want any of it. You are welcome to it. And at that point, I will leave the ring. Oh, and as I get to the top, and Bobby, just remember, you've never beaten me. And I'll drop the mic as I head out.
Excellent. I think I see like Igorovich come down at that point, so that we have that moment of reunion as you and faithful servant.
Yep, and he helps me back. I've got Terminatrix on the other side, and I'm out of the match.
Beautiful. All right. Table,
what a turnaround. Professor Chaos has forfeited the match and regained his former self. So, yay, we've got... Oh, there's...
And is also now fired.
I'm still not sure who to root for here, people.
And the crowd is screaming and they're cheering the professor, but that's true. The professor has now been fired. The belt, the big plate, the belt buckle is there in the center of the ring. We have just seen Bloody Bob get Crush Queen into that armbar. Backstage, Jeffrey's watched all of this. And he you could see he's might even be a little pissed.
Jeffrey, it's been wonderful, but fuck you. And I will go out backstage, pack my stuff, and I'm out of there.
And I think you see from Jeffrey this sort of the wheels turning, and who does he hate the most? He hates both of those people up there. And so he makes the whip's decision that he hates Bob more, which may not be true. As he gets on the mic, tell him to finish it up. Bob's got the win. As Murray comes down to you, Crush, and whispers in your ear, wrap it up. Bob's got the call. You got control, Bloody Bob.
All right, so you finally see him just getting exhausted, giving Crush Queen the armbar, and he lays down right next to her for a second, and as he crouches back up, he puts him in a crucifix powerbomb position, and it's his finisher that he's never got to show, which is the bloody cross. And he did it. He got Crush Queen like in a crucifix position, but by his back with his hands, and just like throws him and go for the pin. Sit down. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, just do it on the belt buckle.
Right on top of the belt. All right, roll that finisher.
It's 11.
Woo! What you get on the finish of 11?
The finisher clean or bloody. In this case, bloody. Choose whether you or your opponent gains +1 audience. Yeah, I'll give it to Crush. I'll give Crush the audience. Why not?
All right. Audience for you, Crush. As there's cheers. They hated you both, so they were, they're pleased y'all got bloodied and beat up. The cheers come down. What's the table say?
Oh, and it's the bloody cross. We haven't seen this in a while. Oh, right onto the belt buckle. Oh, I think that makes Bloody Bob Cross the new Gauntlet League champion once we get the belt put back together. Although I imagine he might just want the medal.
Oh, that's nice. The count comes down. They ring the bell. Bob, they pick up. You see them slide the belt back in, and they have the two pieces to hand to you as they lift your arm in the air. The crowd is cheering.
I think you see Bob crying too. I think with it's like mixed blood, tears, and the face paint is running, and he's just clutching and on his knees, just like with his hand up. It's like,
beautiful. If either of you had, I think all of you had 4 heat with someone in the match, you all receive another audience. If anybody got to 4, you knocked the old 4 down, but he's fired and heading out. And from the back, as you're celebrating there, Bloody Bob, Wolf comes out as you're getting up, Crush. Looks down to the ring with the mic. Crush Queen, you're fired.
Yeah, I think Crush Queen is gonna sell this by looking distraught and then just giving Bloody Bob the murderous side eye she can muster.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And so as the two of you head to the back, Jeffrey will come up to you, Crush Queen, and give you a, don't worry, we're going to do a blue blazer with you. We'll put you through the mask. We'll get you back going. You did the business. I love it. Good job.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Let's talk about mask stuff later, I think.
And so we head to our top of the card as the lights kind of come up so that you could see the people coming out. They lay the mat down. They begin bringing stuff in. Mud. You see them throwing tree branches and a 2x4 and a rake. You see that there is like some sort of strange Celtic type symbol in wood that they throw in there. You see that there is this rusty looking sickle type thing that's in there. Dangerous shit as the mud goes on top of it. Then the leaves come raining down on top of it. They pour them in there. Entering the ring first will be you, Reckoning. And I think I'd like all three of you may take the table if you'd like. Everyone can have a chance to comment if they want. Keeping in mind, we can only give one over.
I'll step out of this one. I think 3 people on the table is probably a bit too much.
Well, and it might save your voice for the epilogue, too. I know you're a little gravelly. Thank you very much.
No worries. Now, I just wish WWE would learn that lesson as well.
All right. So, Leandro and Zach, y'all are on the table. What's your entrance look like, Reckoning?
There's the usual Reckoning thing over the Titantron, Gauntletron, whatever we're going to call it, as her music starts up. But this time, as she comes down the road, there's rows of, like, pink sparkler fireworks going off. Gesture to the audience. It's a weird match for the mud, but everyone knows that she's the bright, shiny, like, Power Ranger of this group. She goes to do her slide into the ring, just kind of looks at the mud like, yeah, and kind of scales the ropes to perch up top, like, I'm cool. That's gross. And I'm trying to work the audience with the, but I'm here. I mean, this is a weird match, but you all are here for me by my action figure.
Okay, so I'll work the audience. Not a cheap heat. I'll work the audience.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm not going to bother trying to grab a mic. Which is a 4, because I have no audience to add, so it doesn't work, but at least they don't hate it.
You will not be able to work the audience again this episode.
Clearly, they're just not feeling me.
There's something about the mud that's now on you where you got in. It's just not clicking. They're cheering for you, but there's also that undercurrent of she's going to get her ass beat. So, there's the thunder, the sound of rain, and then the guitar lick, release the Kraken! As coming down from the back, we see the enormous Kraken. As he comes through, they do this mist that billows out from the back and up across him. They do a rain curtain that comes down over him as he steps out. He stands in the middle of it with it pouring down and does a when the water goes everywhere. He stalks down. Those of you in the know will notice there's a nice mat before he gets to the ramp so he can wipe off his boots so he won't slip and fall. He's stalking down. He gets in front of the kids at them. They're, he gets there, steps over the top rope into the mud, begins kicking it around. He'll grab the mic for a second to go, Gauntlet City, I came here as the greatest of natural disasters, and all I found was filth. So it is appropriate I will beat anyone in the filth. Throws the mic to the side, stalking to the other side. From the back, we get the Kind of leaf on the Titantrons falling from the ceiling. We get leaves dropping down on the audience. No Harbinger. They, kind of a few moments pass. They stop the music. They start the music again. No Harbinger. Kraken's looking around. And then up from the mud in the center of the ring. Oh, yeah.
Oh, so at this point, probably Reckoning kind of leans over to signal to Ref, is Harbinger even in the building? As he emerges from the mud.
Up from the mud, rising, comes Harbinger, his horns first. The mud and leaves sticking to him as he comes up. And he charges straight towards you, there, Reckoning. And he will lay into you. And he is not pulling much. I mean, he's not full on, trying to sink your teeth into your throat. But you can tell he's not laying off much as he puts a couple of quick, good shots in on you before Tony gets over there and hits him in the back. We get the ding, ding, ding. And right now, it's just a messy schmoz of three people belting at each other in the mud before Harbinger does this back kick into Tony's gut. And he slips in the mud, falling backwards. We get this enormous splash of mud everywhere. But he's turned his back on you, and Reckoning, you have control.
And Rick pulls herself up out of the mud with a flip of her pink hair that is now, muddy. Doesn't look as impressive as usual. It's the ropes, and is going to go for fly drop kick or something on Harbinger while his back is turned, trying to get a little bit of leverage against these monsters.
Excellent. Sounds like a technical move.
Yeah, I think so.
Either that or maybe, it could be you do a lot of drop kicks. It could be signature-y type stuff for look.
Well, I got an 11, which fits perfectly into the move that I had planned to take.
Excellent.
So, I gain an audience for being so awesomely flip-de-doo.
Wonderful. And that was a wrestling move still, though?
Yeah, human highlight reel, if I get a 10+ on a high-flying maneuver.
Excellent. So you also get a chance of either 2 momentum or 1 heat.
Oh, no, I want the momentum, but I really want heat. So I will take the heat with Harbinger.
Heat with Harbinger. All righty. You drop that drop kick in. You still got control as Harbinger falls face first into the mud.
I actually knocked over Harbinger. I think Reckoning takes a minute to actually look a little bit surprised because Harbinger fell over. She wasn't expecting him to actually sell that. and yeah, her usual matte flippiness is not going to work in this mud. So I think she's going to kind of skip her way up the ropes again, just jumping at him, and go for moonsault on him or something.
He's down in the mud, so you certainly can do it. That definitely sounds technical.
I'm super technical, which means that this is an 8.
Ooh, all right. Spending any momentum?
Not actually super technical. I'm only a teeny bit. No, I have so little momentum, I'm going to hoard it.
You're going to take 1 momentum then and hand over control?
Yes, I am.
All right. Table, what do you say? Zach, what do you say as this moonsault goes off?
What a beautiful moonsault onto the wet mat canvas.
Excellent. And so you land solidly on
Big
on
sploosh of mud.
Big mud. We get a sort of sound out of Harbinger, but standing up out of the mud is the Kraken. And he's covered in it, and he looks just terrifying. And both of you, once you did that moonsault, you're still recovering, so you're both on the mat. Reaches down, grabs both of you, each of you in one hand by the neck, lifts you up. So Harbinger's feet are maybe half an inch off the ground, and you're like a foot and a half off the ground. And he double choke slams the two of you. He stalks the ring, goes over to the turnbuckle, gets to the second rope. Big tsunami belly flop onto Harbinger. Goes over to the other turnbuckle, second rope, and leaps to do it on you. But you have control of the match.
And I, quickly noticing that he's coming, roll out of the way. And take the moment to, while he is fallen and presumably startled by having taken this fall into the twigs and everything, I'm gonna just sneakily, really quick, go for the cover. Maybe I can finish this right now. I assume I can't finish this right now.
You
Probably
cannot
even get like one and he kicks out or something.
Would you like to roll that though as say like a look move as you?
Oh yeah,
you know,
sure.
Yeah, let's roll that.
That's an 8.
All right. You wish to hold on to control? Take the momentum.
I'm taking momentum and letting him talk.
All right. You get that one count before he does the press, and you just go flying halfway across the ring as he presses you out. He gets up and he does the Kraken yell. But that's about the time that Harbinger comes up out of the mud with a tree branch and flat out clocks him across the back. Wha-bow! The branch breaks, shattering onto his back, and he goes, dropping to one knee. Harbinger reaches down into the muck and brings out that rusty sickle. Draws back. It looks like he is going to cut off Kraken's head. As he brings it down, though, Kraken catches the wrist. And they're there in a... as you get control of the match.
And while they're locked in that struggle over the scythe, I guess it's not really going to make me look like a heel, given that they're super huge monsters. I think I have been taking this moment to flump against the ropes, kind of fall down, and then rummaging through the mud as I find a stick. It's much smaller than that branch, but it's pretty big for me. And I'm going to try to just whack Kraken across the back and maybe knock both of them a little bit. Maybe just get his attention and get flung into the ropes again. Either way, I win.
Sounds like power.
I have no power.
Or luck, or look, one of the two. I mean, or I guess you could do hardcore violence if you want to. Using a weapon. That'd be rolling with real.
Well, I think I'm going to go for power because that's hilarious, and that makes it a 6. So I'll spend momentum to knock it up to
a 7?
7.
Taking the momentum back, or are you going to keep control?
I'll keep control.
All right. What does Leandro, what does the table say to this? I mean, this is crazy stuff.
I think the table's kind of like, I think I'm playing the heel announcer apparently, and it's like we all know the Reckoning is a pint-sized powerhouse, but she's barely hanging on. You know, she needs to face reality. These two, they're supernatural.
Beautiful. And as the stick cracks across Kraken's back, he sells, and that sickle gets close and actually catches him across the head and draws a line. You know, Kraken's hands up there holding it, and blood begins coming down. But it's not red. You're seeing this greenish black substance that starts pouring down from his head. as there was a good die pack set in that. And he's but so he's struggling against this, and Harbinger, as he digs it in, he does that final, and the blood just sort of spraying down across Kraken's face, and he turns around and he puts a kick right into his forehead, just a big boot, and Kraken sells it, falling back into the mud, sort of rolling around as he stalks over Harbinger to the turnbuckle, reaches in, takes off the top one, reaches down inside the pole, brings out acetylene torch, basically, as he goes, and fire springs from his hand, and we get this red-orange blaze coming up from the thing. And he begins moving over towards towards Kraken with this. And Kraken's moving back, but slipping in the mud. And you get control. What are you doing?
Reki kind of looks at her piece of broken branch and at the acetylene torch and just hucks the branch at him, assuming it'll do nothing at all. And takes a running, kind of sloshing start through this mud, lighting on the fallen, trying to right himself, Kraken, and using that to springboard up so that she can... Dang, what's the move I'm trying to go for? So that she can kind of, like, kick along the side of Harbinger to try to knock that torch away, from her at least.
Uh-huh.
And knock him into the ropes. Or maybe into the turnbuckle that he just bared.
I got you. So kind of a springboard drop kick off of Kraken.
Yeah.
Okay. I think you could roll your heat with Kraken.
Yay. Which makes that a 12.
Woo! It works perfectly. We get the torch go flying, landing on the outside, and it's rigged so it does a little poof there outside the ring. They've got a very contained little fire. People come running up to put it out as Harbinger stumbles to the side and into the turnbuckle, kind of catching his own arm on where he'd taken the top off. So he's selling that he's all hurt. Are you holding on to you still got control, taking 2 momentum or gaining a heat?
I'll take that last heat with him because haha.
All right. And you've got control. Now, we're hitting our time. So we're about to do our wrap up here of the match. I want you to do your next move. Then I'm going to tell you what the book is, and we'll see how that goes.
Oh, no. Dang, I'm trying to think of how I can get some leverage, but still make him look like he's really tough. I'm probably going to go for, like, just Hurricane Rana or something. Try to get momentum against him to topple Harbinger.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe topple him into Kraken even if I'm super lucky.
Okay. So you're running over there and doing the climb up for the Hurricane Rana, trying to flip him towards Kraken. Let's roll the move. Sounds technical. Sounds like work.
Yeah. And that's a 7.
All right. Want to bump it? Maybe no need.
I think I'll just leave it there and take
All right. Take the momentum. All right. Hurricane Rana into Kraken, knocks them both down. You're over there. You've done the Hurricane Rana. You've hopped back up. Harbinger across the way from you. Harbinger and Kraken kind of disentangle. And we get the image of the two of them rising up almost in like synchronicity, rising up out of the mud to stare down at you. in Harbinger's hand, he's pulled up that big Celtic-y looking wooden icon, got it in his hand, and he beside him, the Kraken gives the rah. Kraken comes running across at you, puts the big clothesline into you, throwing you back up against the rope. You bounce out as he picks you up and does just this way huge backdrop, just released backdrop. As you're up in the air, Harbinger comes across and catches you in the air with that thing right in the gut. Oof. As you land, Harbinger turns and cracks across Kraken's side of his head with this thing. And again, it just breaks. Kraken, the blood, the black-green blood, as he collapses down. Harbinger turns to stalk to you. Now, you have been booked to win this match.
That's the only possibility I didn't think could happen.
As he's stalking towards you, Kraken is going to get up and do this rush towards the back of Harbinger and sort of hit him, driving the both of them towards you. Tell me what it looks like that you could manage to get this win.
So I think they're both coming at me, and
This wall
using
of
my
meat.
yes, just like a locomotive of monsters coming at me, and I really quickly scramble up the ropes because oh no, the only way out may be to just jump out of the ring entirely, or is it? As I'm then going to do another man, it's ridiculous because I am too small to pull it off. But like flipping neckbreaker or something on one of them, just trying to knock him back and away from me off of the top rope.
I can see that. I can see that. So you get up there, kind of, and do a flip back, grabbing them both by the neck to.
Yeah, like they're big, but I'm a tiny slingshot.
Let's see how that finisher does.
And I get to add work to my finisher, so that's a 10.
Woo! What do you gain with a 10?
With a 10, I decide whether I or my opponent gains audience, and I'm taking it because they're MPWs.
And so as they land wham into the mud, and I think that the power of it is like you're on top of them, but you landed hard. And in the mud, it's all around. The crowd can barely see as the ref gets over there. 1, 2, 3. The mud flying everywhere. There's the struggle split up. People are like, what happened? What's going on? As they pulling apart, we see Kraken stand up. We see Harbinger yelling. They're both bloodied and looking screwed up. As out of the mud, the ref lifts your arm as the one who was there on top of both of them for the count. Leandro, what does the table say?
Oh my god. Against all odds, the reckoning has indeed come for Kraken and the Harbinger. Out there stands the reckoning, Raphael Russo, standing tall above all through mud and branches and sweat and everything else they could throw against her. She stood tall.
Nice. The crowd is going wild. we'll have a moment or two like where Kraken is and Harbinger's pissed off and like he should have won. They may trade a blow or two before they're pushed out of the ring, but it is your moment as the spotlight shines on the Reckoning, having been the victor in this match. And credits roll. I'd love to hear, I know we're a little over, but I'd love to hear an epilogue out of each of our wrestlers. Can be the next day, can be a year, can be a decade down the road. However you'd like to do it. Gonna start with you, Zach. What is the epilogue for Bloody Bob?
I think it's like I think it's maybe like a year after the event. I think you see Bob taking Curtis Jackson's like good word, and I think he's in Japan now, kind of just like doing the circuit, and it's getting more and more popular there. And yeah, he doesn't live with his brother anymore, but he still keeps in touch. Yep, that's what happens with Bloody Bob.
I love it. That's very sweet. Ryan, the Giant Slayer Rousseau. What do we see epilogue there?
Like, we see her in kind of her street clothes, the leather jacket and jean cutoffs and everything, wearing a big Giant Slayer shirt, cutting a promo about how she's fought everything that came at her. She took down 2 giants at once. And this next week at this other pay-per-view, you're going to see her take the Gauntlet League belt. And nothing's going to stand in her way like throw the mic.
Love it. Love it. Crush Queen. Zoe, what do we see?
I think it's a small one. I don't think it's anything like the other ones. I think it's later that night in the pay-per-view. It's just following Zoe as she's on the phone. She's on the phone to her girlfriend, and it's just saying, no. This time I'm not actually fired. It's just part of this story, okay? All right, no, I'm not gonna be home for a bit. Look, I know I'm behind my online classes. I know wrestling's not gonna be around for. Melanie, I know. Did you enjoy the show at least? I trust Bob. All right, it didn't hurt. Okay, it's fine. I totally. Yeah, I know what he does, but he's doing better now, and we'll have other matches soon. We'll have Harry. Oh, Harry's. Nah, well, Harry's fine. Though you don't have to. I think he'll be fine. Anyway, yeah, I won't be home for another couple of days. I think I'm gonna be in a mask. I'm gonna have to talk to Jeffrey about that, but yeah. No, you don't get to pick the mask. No, Melanie, no. And yeah, the conversation just keeps going. She's
lovely. Wonderful. And Harry, Professor Chaos. What do we see for your epilogue?
Professor Chaos, excuse me. Professor Chaos leaves wrestling entirely. Concentrates on his TV career. He goes from starring to producing his own works. He keeps on having the buzz, though, the little thing that makes him want to get back in wrestling. It's like a drug. You can never really give it up. So he talks to a few of the money men, a few of the people. So he's got this idea for an internet-only promotion. And one day he picks up the phone, dials a number. Oh, Bob, is that you? I've got a proposition I'd like to talk about. End credits.
Lovely. Oh, that. Bravo. Excellent job, everybody. That was our WWW Battle for the Belts. Whoo! I hope y'all had fun. I thought it went really well. Y'all are all amazing. If folks have a moment or two, I'd love a Roses and Thorns. I completely understand if it's late. We are 10 after. because I still can't pace. Even when I even jinxed myself, saying, "Oh, I got so much time." But those were amazing matches, phenomenal matches. So let's get a little Roses and Thorns to remind a little of the difference between that and Stars and Wishes. Roses and Thorns can be a little more pointed critique. I like them at the end of a thing because it gives me something to work with. You could look at, say, The Road or the WWW itself, something with how I ran it, something with just how things went. We don't give thorns to our fellow players, though, of course. So I think I'm gonna start. Let's start with you, Gerwin, for thorns. We start with thorns, then roses. That's the good points. That's the nice one. We always end on a happy note, and that's handing out nice things to people. So, what you think?
I still don't think 3 hours is long enough to do the road and to do a wrestling match, do wrestling show as well. As much as I love it, I am going to be using parts of it in my games going forward. I just don't think 3 hours is enough to get it all in. Something I'm going to be thinking about in future, but it's brilliant. I love the rule set. I love bringing in the backstage. It's just timekeeping, and I think if you cut short the backstage stuff, you really lose the stuff that actually drives the front of stage as well. Because I don't think the rivalry that Zach and my characters had in this whole thing would have been anywhere near as intense had that not been there. Also, I love the concept of the cultural champion. I love the concept. Looking at some of the moves, I don't think they're anyway fair. The injury move itself seems absolutely overpowered. And I think it could do with being if they ever do a second edition, I think it's something that should be looked at. But that's just down to me. The people may have played it differently, but to take control of a match and your opponent has to break kayfabe to take control is just so OP. It's ridiculous. And I was eager to clear the injuries as soon as I could after that one session because I didn't want that interfering with the game. But apart from that, no other real thorns.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I hear you. I'll come to a little of that maybe in my thorns too. Thank you very much. Leandro, any thorns?
There's one to myself. I think my conception of the character I made and the shoot fighter were a bit at odds because looking at the shoot fighter, it's about someone who can take control of the match for themselves. And I played a very by the book, a professional. I'll work with y'all sort of wrestler. So it was a bit counterintuitive. I think she might have been better off as just a technician, but had a very specific like wrestler in mind. But yeah, I think that still worked out. I do wish. I know. We just said like, oh, there's hard to balance the backstage stuff with the front stage stuff, but I did wish I got to interact more backstage with the other with the other PCs, which I think that's the only one I really would have wanted to do. I think I only interacted with one PC outside the ring once. Yeah, way back. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think those are my two main forms. I don't know if I have anything else to elucidate over that. I think, yeah, maybe I could pick a different playbook, but I had a specific idea, a specific image, so shooter worked for that. And yeah, would have liked to hung out backstage more, even though it's still a lot to balance and pace.
I hear you. I absolutely hear you. Thank you, Ryan. Thorns.
I'm not sure if it's just the combination of my standard, play to advance as many times as I can, pick a weird goal and see if I can break the game to fit it, PBTA approach. But like 2 or 3 sessions in, I realized I'd hit enough advances. I was allowed to pick an advanced role, and I was like, wait a second, am I already the monster to destroy? It felt like I wasn't getting a ton of iconoclast mileage out of this, because the more I look at it, it's just, you're good at cutting promos, but that's kind of all it had to offer. I was going, oh no, I don't want to steal other people's gimmicks, but I'm not sure what I should do with myself. And small thorn on myself. Every time this comes around, I tell myself this will be the one that the time that I play like, a ghost demon who's also someone's half brother, just complete bonkers. I don't even know what. And I totally went for another of the completely just normal guy wrestlers. I need to play someone who is completely goofy. Especially if I'm going to fight Harbinger, who is so many layers of goofy on top of that. But yeah, mostly, I guess it was I'm not sure if it's just the way we were playing it or not, but the advancement seemed not to work very well with how I tend to play and the Iconoclast.
Gotcha.
I think it might just be the way the game's written or something. I don't know.
I gotcha. I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah. Tie into Thorns, I've heard people say in other ones, the stats are kind of weird in here, because I was kind of aggressively power gaming, trying to get my stats into positive numbers, and the only reason I have positive numbers is because I was going, this might be a little cheaty, but I'm going to do it, because it gives me a 1 in something.
Yeah. I'll come to some thorns and some roses and maybe touch on that too, but I hear you. Thank you very much. Zach, thorns.
I think thorns I'd like to point out. I think I'm gonna echo what Gerwin and Leandro mentioned about mixing in the road with this game. But like, I really am super into the stuff that happens backstage, and would like to see a lot more. Or I just like, I don't know how. I think it might be a lot of like balancing act of like finding the right amount of the road and the regular worldwide wrestling stuff, But I think there's still a lot that we could get out of the road. I think. Other than that, I think that's all I have to say.
Okay, doke. Thank you very much. I hear you. And for my thorns, we played last time with the road, and we talked about time in it. And I'd already put these up as 3 hours before we got finished with the last one. I may have gone with 3.5 if I'd have, with all of that. I think 3.5 might give enough space that you can do it with a little less tightness. That said, it is a bear to try and time manage. Just because that road, you want to let everybody get stuff out, and you're right, Leandro, I still didn't give as many opportunities to get you interacting with people, which is one of my favorite things to do. I like having y'all talk, and I can sit back and just listen. I love those moments, and I didn't give that, which again, that's a thorn on me, because I could have found ways to angle that. I should have angled that better. But it is very tough scheduling out how to give enough freedom while at the same time getting those matches in. And so I love the road. I don't want to not play it. I don't want to take it out of a WW game that I'm going to run. I think it adds so much. Maybe it just needs to be a little bit longer time slot. I hate running 3.5 or 4 because those are off standard, but maybe it just deserves a little extra time. That said, other thorns, I do feel like that I make that first match too damn long. I always let a first match go way longer. I feel like I have so much time, and that's, in the process, you got to learn, and I need to learn to get those spots, be quicker at it, and call that wrap on that first match, because it's always the first match I let go too long. So thorn on me in both cases there. I can't thorn the system for what it's doing precisely in that sense of time, because I'm the one that chose to put it in there. I will agree with you with some folks who are talking about playbooks. These playbooks are not all, they're certainly not balanced. There are better playbooks than others. There's no doubt about it. I will say with stats, I think Nathan really wants to keep it where you don't have really good stats to start with. You got to decide to spend them because he gives you that currency, which is pretty easy to get. I think he wants the tension to be spending that momentum. So I think there's a purpose to that. But it gets a little wonky when you look at some playbooks that really do get to screw with that, because there are some that are just flat out better. So yeah, that's a thorn, I suppose. It's a design choice, I think. So I don't want to thorn his design choice, but it can feel wonky in play. So I suppose that would be, I guess that's a bit of a thorn. And there are some moves out there that are just, there are a few moves that I think are broken. That kayfabe one you're talking about, Garwin, that's a bitch. I mean, that one is that's rough. There's some others that let you, I mean, you could just chain momentum gain with a build. There are a couple of builds that'll just, you could pop up to 10 momentum in early part of a match. I had Kraken built up at one point where he could pretty much pull down 4 as soon as he walked in the ring. First move, he could probably pull down 4. So there's ways to game the system, and that's always a bit of a thorn. So those are my thorns, though, of a game that I absolutely adore. So don't think that changes that. Let's do some roses, because they are a hell of a lot more fun. Let's start with you, this other side. Zach, let's have you snake back. Zach, give us some roses.
Oh, God. There's so many to give. I just love... I want to give roses to... I don't know, the story that we built together, I think, is so much fun. Especially the arc of Bob and Professor Chaos. I really didn't see that coming. I really thought we were gonna be like a wreck at the end. I was like ready for it to be just like a complete mess.
One of the things about Bobby is Bobby doesn't lie. That's something I've learned from it. So when you say you didn't put Crush Queen in there, my little grey cells were going, and who did? It was creative, and I was going to screw them over. Chaos did a chaos, but in this case, he did it on creative rather than anyone else.
So, yeah, I don't know. I also that scene, the first scene I had with Tony. So thank you, Tyler. That was really really a lot. That was really intense, and I enjoyed it, and it crushed me a lot. And I don't know, I think there's a lot of, it's like it truly has been like a great collaborative storytelling experience in terms of like pushing other characters and like really like helping other people, like other characters, to like go where they need to be. I think that's been great in this like past few sessions. So I really want to give roses for everyone for that.
Awesome. Thank you very, very, very much. And I love that first scene too. I thought it was beautiful. Ryan, some roses?
And roses to Garwood's accents as usual, even if they're tougher this time because of your voice. The just character acting there makes me crack up every time you start talking, especially with this opening sneer. Also for that whole scene with it's kind of a joint rose for Bobby and I guess Chaos, Harry, whatever. I'm having to look for names even though I've been playing with the same names this whole series. How did I forget them all? Where I almost liked Harry for a second, and I hated myself for that. And Bobby actually taking advice from him and was like, "No, Bobby, he's evil, but also it's probably solid advice. But no, I like you so much better." But it was awesome. And Rose in general did enjoy it because I loved Crush Queen. I wish I got to talk to her some, but it didn't seem tightly into the plots, and I didn't want to slow us down. But it was great, especially how that, getting framed for injuring someone got turned into, yeah, you just injure people. That's what you do. Sometimes you got to break stuff, and it was fun. I really liked that final match. I was waiting for someone to try to clock somebody else with the metal off the belt, and getting thrown onto it was the next best thing. I really hope that in the future Bob just comes out with only the metal plate and promptly whacks people with it or something.
Love it. Thank you very much. Leandro, roses.
Probably like my big roses again to everyone because I have to be generous. It's a bouquet to everyone. Bouquet to everyone. The biggest thing is just because we started this series with the same group, and the evolution between that session and now, and especially since I think the three of you have been here this whole time. And I echo again the confusion I had last session. I'm like, wait, why is Reckoning like this now? There's a merchandise with babyface. What? Okay, but I did love not knowing that was going to happen and seeing interacting with those silly kids and the match itself with the mud and whatnot, because I spent the last couple of years getting to indie wrestling who frankly don't have the budget for that sort of thing. So you forget that wrestling can be really, I mean, it could be over the top ridiculous if you have if you can afford to slosh in a lot of mud and branches and fire and sickles. So I love that. And again, I think definitely the big thing for this series was the whole Bobby and Chaos story. And again, I just love just that scene in the trailer, the two of them seemingly coming to terms. And then at the start of the match, it looks like, oh no, Harry's gonna pull off another screw job. He's changing, and I was actually tense for that match. I was like, oh shit, I have to hurt someone for real now. Is this was gonna happen? I was this close to yeah, no, fuck off! Don't tear the belt. I'm gonna take the belt and hit you with it. And I didn't know what was gonna happen. So I love just keeping that ambiguity right there from right there to the very end, Gerwin. You're always fantastic with that. And yeah, and Zach and Bobby's just great. Again, scenes with Tony was fab. The trailer scene again, really fab. Yeah, and Tyler, you just keep knowing when to put them together, when to twist the screws, and it never ends. Never ends. I should expect this by now, but yeah. Thanks for having me. There's only the third session I'm in, and but yeah, no, it's fab.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Gerwin, roses.
First off, 1 second. Sorry about this. Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be fun on the phones tomorrow. Leandro, out of all the characters in this season, the one that Harry was afraid of was Crush Queen. There's a reason Harry freaked out when Crush Queen was exposed in that match. And that's purely because of the background and the things we built up. And thank you for going with it, that first match. That set the tone entirely for my game. And to be such a generous role player, to actually go along with that and actually... It was a dick move for me to do. But it was entirely in character dick move. And certain people could have taken that incredibly badly. And I think it speaks volumes for you that you took it in stride and you realized I was playing the game and it wasn't anything personal. Thank you for that. And you have my utmost respect for it. Ryan. Oh, man, I wish I had more time to play with you this season. You're such a good player. We play so many of these games together, and one of these days I'm going to feud with you, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be wonderful, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that day because you are one excellent role player. And if you want to play the weirdo and I do the straight man for a change, I will do that. I will do that for you. I will play the straight man to your gonzo crazy person, because I just love playing with you. Zach, what can I say about Zach? Well, what can I say about Bobby? Frenemies, hopefully now at the end of it all. But I had come into the match tonight entirely planning to lose, but to screw over people in the process. That scene in the trailer took me by surprise. If you had lied to Harry at that point when he asked you, if you'd in any way made it look like that you were responsible for that, the screw job would have been coming. You stuck to your character, and I think it made the game all the better for it. I've loved seeing the stuff going on in the background with your family, the matches we've had. We didn't actually have a match until the third session, yet we had a feud going. How crazy is that? That was brilliant. Mate, I've all the love in the world for you. You've made this game for me. And Tyler, man, my heart can't take this. It really can't. I signed up for the Fireships game for purely one reason. I didn't look at the time. I didn't look at the set game. I didn't look at anything else. I saw your name on it, and I signed up. Granted, it's at 2:00 in the morning for me. But I think it speaks volumes that I want to play in your games that much. You are a brilliant GM, brilliant DM or DC or MC or whatever the system has. And whenever you run something, I want to be there and play it because you make the game so much fun. We've had it in Space Worm. We've had it in the previous Worldwide Wrestling. We've had it in this. And also, thank you for keeping up with the craziness I'm doing. I try to be a proactive player. I try to go out and cause problems and sometimes put myself in a bad light. Well, put the character in a bad place. And yeah, you've built into that all the way along, and thank you so much for that.
You are most welcome, and thank you very much. Thank you all. My roses, I want to say, despite everything on time, I think this road stuff added so much. I loved having a feud that was no one in a match would have seen. I mean, it was all backstage feud. I thought it was brilliant. I think that the stuff with Bobby's family, I think that was gold. There was some really solid things there. And I will say, Zach, your arc was fascinating. I mean, it was really seeing a wrestler kind of have to swallow pride by the end. And there was a real arc to it. Getting desperate, doing some nasty shit, and coming to the realization, this isn't who I want to be. That's just a beautiful character arc. That was lovely. A whole bed of roses to you, my friend. Ryan, I loved Reckoning. I loved that Reckoning was always game for what was going on, but at the same time, Reckoning had an agenda. It was nice to see you focused on the prize with this character always driving forward, making calculated decisions, making alliances. I loved the interactions with you and Tony. I thought those were lots of fun. But Reckoning could have a long career in wrestling. That is a character that could so completely be a major wrestler for a long time, and you played it brilliantly. And as Garwin says, anytime playing with you is above and beyond a pleasure. I love you so. Leandro, I also love playing with you. I don't get to do it as often, but every time you bring the magic every time. Your characters are fully realized every time. They have solid motivation. You roll with what's going on. You grab hold of emotion and you just let it blossom. It is so good to play with you. I appreciate your technical ability as a role player in that you're generous. You're keeping up with what's going on. You're feeling the tone and what's going on in the thing. But above and beyond that, your sense of a style and how how to put those words and those moments together are impeccable. You always do it so well. Just love playing with you. Garwin, you're one of my besties. You are a hell of a WWW player, but you're a great player in everything. But this Chaos arc was also spectacular. This concept was wonderful. I loved seeing, in 2 months, we saw a perfect juxtaposition of characters. We had such a nice guy playing a really asshole heel in our first one. In this one, we saw a really well-played face. I mean, that's a smart face decision, setup, concept. It's beautiful. With an old veteran manipulator in the back of the backstage, someone who knew how to play the game and played those head games so well. I mean, I thought it was nice in that trailer, we're not blameless. I'm not blameless. There's an equal and opposite reaction. Professor Chaos knew damn well what he was doing when he put these psychological burrs into someone who was not as capable of recognizing or handling them. And he knew perfectly well what was going on. And it was nice to see this sort of respect end up building up between them. And I loved the resolution of that story, the walking away, but in epilogue, you say what it means to be a wrestler. You never give it up. It always calls to you. It always calls to you. And that was beautiful and sweet and so well done. Rose to Nathan and to Adam. Love this game. Love it. It has everything for me. It has all the drama. It has all the excitement. It is over the top, and I think what we saw with the road in these last 2 sessions, it also can grab a hold of your heart and really, really bring the emotion. I mean, there's a lot that can be done with these two pieces of this game. So, thank you all for playing. Folks at home, I hope you've enjoyed 2 months of WWW. I hope you've enjoyed the battle for the belt. If you do, there's more stuff of mine out there. You can find me on YouTube. There's more stuff from the Gauntlet. So I insist, all of you, watch more.